Welcome, everybody, to MogTalk episode 184. Today is October 12th, 2019. If you guys have not watched MogTalk before, it's a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing. And today's topic is going to be about Party Finder, and I can't think of many other people who are experienced with Party Finder as much as the two we have on today, which... I'll let them introduce themselves, and I'm going to start here going clockwise with Bok. Bok, tell everybody who you are.
Hey, what's up? I'm Bok Choy. Been on the show a few times, and I'm a party finder fiend, man. I like every tier. I just live in party finder, just clear parties, farm parties, whatever, man. So yeah, glad to be on the show.
All right. And of course, Arthas, you guys may be familiar with him as well if you watch the show on a regular basis. Arthas, for those who might not be familiar, can you tell them who you are?
Yo guys, so what's up? I'm Arthars. Again, kind of new to the NA scene, mainly PF a lot recently. Since I'm on NA, I do a lot in JP, not so much now, but every now and then I still do it. So yeah, nice to meet you. Been on the show a few times. So thanks, Frosty, for inviting me again.
Yeah.
And my camera is for some reason weird out. So
yeah.
I'll try to stay still.
It's okay, because, we sacrificed what's probably happened is we got Bok's camera to work, and so because of that, we had to sacrifice some of your camera to get him on, so...
and what? You're going to put this on me?
Yeah, well, it makes me feel better because it's off my back. But anyways, I do want to say it's kind of funny every time you say that, Arthas, because you say you're new to the NA scene, but I think you've always been in the NA scene more than any other scene.
Recently, the past 6 months, yeah.
Well, no, before that, even. Because, even though you weren't, always on the NA servers, there was a lot of NA people who were familiar with you and knew who you were.
Oh, that's why you... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, that being said, when we talk about Party Finder, it's... maybe a little ambiguous. We think, oh, well, what do you mean by Party Finder? Do you mean Glamour Party Finder? Do you mean a mining group where everybody goes and mines together Party Finder? No. We're narrowing our scope to content that is PvE, mostly to Savage, Extreme, things that you need to progress on and get groups for, farming, stuff like that. Because that's what I think 95% of Party Finders use for. And recently, I've been very, very familiar with Party Finder because I have done all of my progression through Party Finder in the time I have available. And I've had a lot of very interesting experiences, and I know you guys have had tons of interesting experiences with it. And I wanted to discuss it a little bit because it's weird. It's kind of weird seeing how people react and act and how it's kind of evolved over the few years that Party Finder has been out. So to start this off, I guess I would like to let me make sure I got the right question here. When we're talking about people who are using Party Finder and everything, what's the most common use for it? Is it progression? Is it farms? Is it speedruns? Which one do you guys see the most?
All of the above, man.
Just an equal amount of all of it?
You can pretty much you can pretty much do, well, I don't know about equal amount, right? But these days, I guess when it comes to the necessity for Party Finder, people think of Savage because it's the hardest content when you need to coordinate and you need to put together a party consisting of the right people on the right jobs, right?
Yeah.
So I suppose so, but it's not limited to just that. You got your hunts, you got your people recruiting and stuff, like recruiting for their static and stuff like that, advertising on Party Finder and whatnot. Yeah,
I do see that every once in a while. I guess that's the only place you could really advertise for getting people for your static is Party Finder, right? There's other places, but there's not really a good solution outside of Party Finder. Is there?
There are plenty. There's Reddit recruitment, there's balanced recruitment, but one of the things people do is they just go straight on Party Finder. So yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you guys are saying like Discord, Reddit, and stuff like that, but I don't know. I haven't had a lot of good experience going outside of the game for it. I just put a party finder up when I did raid leading a year or two ago, and that's how I found new members. If I tried to get it in like a Reddit recruitment post, it was always they didn't respond or it just fell through. I never had any luck with it. At least I know they're logged into the game and they want to play when they come into Party Finder, but all right. Anyways, let's get into, I guess my biggest complaint is it's really hard to be successful and get into a Party Finder group and be like, I'm glad I joined this group. For me. I don't know if that sounds horrible, but a lot of times I join a Party Finder group and I pull 2 times and it's over. Is there a secret to like getting into a Party Finder group and not having it fail immediately?
No, it's not. I mean,
really?
It's not always.
No.
It's not always up to you.
Okay.
Sometimes it's about the others. I mean, as long as I always say, right, in PF, right, don't be that guy. When I say this a lot of times before, right? Once you click that button, once you join that group, don't be that guy. At least 1 out of 8 chance you ensure that you keep the group together, because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy that makes too much mistakes and get kicked. You don't want to be that guy that rage at people and make people uncomfortable. Always, I mean, of course, we can sit here and get angry like what we do, right? Like what we say on stream when we see something happen, but we don't really bring it to the peer. We don't really show it in the party, like type it out, like get annoyed, like tilting or trolling. We just, every pool you do your best, then I think you cover your end. Whether the group falls apart after 2 pools, I don't think that's your fault. But should you expect for it? Will that happen? Absolutely, definitely. I mean, I personally have even been in groups that disband even before pooling. Yo, you got 2 pools? Sometimes I don't even get 1. Sometimes I will be sitting there 5 minutes. They will be on Eden, E1S. They will be talking about position. They put markers. Everybody get their intercardinal position. Everybody get their pair. Everybody talk about who played. And then they didn't even pull at the disband. Why? Because somebody didn't like the position they are in. So 2 pools is not bad, man, honestly.
Okay, you know what though? When we were setting up the show, before we were on the air, Arthars was mentioning how last time it was just the 3 of us on the show together. We're talking about a very, very similar topic, except it was highlighted on the difference between JP mentality and NA mentality. And I remember one of the things that I said, and I still stand by this. This is still how I perceive the state of things. Is in Japan, okay, when something goes wrong, they'll apologize, even when it's not their fault. And then in NA, when something is their fault, they'll try to pin the blame on somebody else, right? And right. that kind of goes to show that. And one of the things in Japan is like the greatest fear when they're joining like a group and playing with a bunch of strangers. Their greatest fear is letting the group down. And in NA, the greatest fear is the group letting them down.
Right, I remember that.
That's where the contrast is, and people have this like the sense of entitlement. It's just like, you know, some guy will come, contribute absolutely nothing, and just like, you know, rage and stuff. And as soon as he leaves the party, it's like, oh man, Party Finder sucks. The reason it sucks, he's just not self-aware, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So would you still? I don't know, Arthars. Do you still do JP groups right now?
I was tell Bok 2 years ago, right? 2 years after that show. Every now and then I spend about 2 days a week on JP doing PF. Sometimes in elemental, so not necessarily full JP, but it's still the same, man. When you go in, they still cause stupid shit, wipes. The first thing you always see in PF, right, in the party chat, right? I'm sorry. Like 5 different ways of saying sorry. The same guy can fuck up 5 times. He has 5 different ways of saying sorry. Everybody's like, oh, it's okay. And I'm sitting here myself. It's like, that's not okay. But I also type it out. Yeah, I guess it's okay. Same, it's still the same. 5 years later, it's still the same. But they still get the job done. And it's the same. I feel they are as bad sometimes, but the difference is they still can get the clear. Whereas if I put that similar JP, if I convert him into an NA, or if he's born an NA, I feel that he wouldn't even get the chance to get by 3 pools. I feel that's the difference.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. Really.
You would have been kicked a long time ago. The party would
have kicked a long time ago. Okay. I really feel.
You know what? You kind of brought this up with the last thing that you said. Is when you're setting up the markers, right? Okay. I was wondering, because this is something that I personally think, I want to know what you think particularly, because you have experience in both JP and NA. You have extensive experience with both. So you know how in JP, okay, you're playing with a bunch of strangers and everyone, and you got to go over strategy. You got to go over who's doing what job in each particular fight, who's going northwest, who's going north, and blah, 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 right? So in JP, what they do is they have these macros, and you hit the macro, and then in chat, there's like a little diagram made with the text. And it tells people where, okay, you're H1, you're the first healer in the list, you're going northwest, right? And now NA doesn't do that. I mean, people try to do it, and everyone's like, nobody look at his macro, right? And then they'll put a marker on the floor, and then everybody gets around the marker to claim their position. And then people fight over it. They're just like, I don't want northwest as a black mage. It fucks up my opener. And then you got another guy who's just like, yo, everybody rotate clockwise. Oh, I'm used to counterclockwise. Yeah, but if we go counterclockwise, we put the tank on top of the other tank. And then problems arise. Whereas if you just had a macro and everyone just blindly and religiously follows the macro, which is the law in JP, nobody's like, oh, I don't want northwest. Nobody does that, right?
No.
So would that be an improvement to NA if NA was to adopt that type of methodology?
No.
What do you think?
They just wouldn't respond well to it. I mean, that's it. Even if somehow you could convince NA to follow that, then maybe so. But the personality, NA has personality on their sleeves, and they have their own way they want to do things, and they find ways that things aren't their fault. And so I think positioning rolls into that. And so if positioning isn't just right for them, then it's the group's fault. And so I think there's personally, okay, and this is just me saying that. I don't know Arthars' thought on this, but I think there's absolutely no way, because they need to have that conversation and discussion and make sure everybody is paying attention, is on board, because half the time, okay, maybe this is just horrible, bitter thing that I want to say, half the time they're not paying attention. They don't care. Yeah.
Like, okay, I've seen people try. Like in EU, it works. Although sometimes they still fail, but they try. For NA, right? And whenever people put down a macro, right, everybody will like, I'm not sure whether it's a meme or I'm not sure they really mean it. They were always like, oh, what is this wall of text? Oh, who's gonna read it? I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
And then they will talk.
Sarcastic resistance, right?
Yeah. Right. Like, I'm not sure whether it's a meme or is it real. And then so I've seen groups that try one pool and then they are like, they don't get it. And then they end up putting the famous one marker again. Now, I personally it's funny. I kind of like it. I actually kind of like it. I like the way NA is doing it because I think as a streamer, right, as somebody going to PF, again, like I said earlier, you shouldn't expect anything, right? You go in and then you see them putting markers. You see people fight over positionals. You see people start deepings, deeps on this. And then sometimes you see weird comp 3 melee comp, and then you see how they adjust, and then you see how they quarrel. Sometimes for me, right, it's like an entertainment. Like I find it funny though, but still, but I think it's the entertainment. Like sometimes I see different group doing different things, adjusting differently, and I find it fascinating because, again, not shit talking JP this time, but when they religiously follow the macro, right, what I can get out from that is Okay, they know how to listen. They know how to execute. They have been doing this for God knows 20 times already, 11 weeks straight. Times how many times they do, whether they do optimize, but they done that much. So I don't expect them to screw up. Whereas for NA, right, when they do all these different stuff, different group, I'm in different position. I myself also, like, for me, I'm also out of my comfort zone. And then when I make it work or don't make it work, I got something. I'm not sure whether maybe this is part of NA. When it doesn't work this time, then it's the party's fault. Because the last time I was in Southeast, now I'm in Southwest. So now I myself also have a reason to be mad at the party. Like, God damn it, this is why I failed chat. You know, sometimes my Twitch say, "Oh Lord, you clip that person." I'm like, "Oh, come on, this is the first time I'm doing this position. I'm always that position." So I kind of, for me, right, this is like an enjoyment sometimes. Maybe I'm weird, but I kind of like it actually. Yeah,
kind of like it. Well, okay. When it comes to our own amusement, I mean, as streamers, as people who stream Party Finder content for entertainment, for ourselves, and for the people watching our streams, right? I think we see it in a different light than someone who just wants to get their damn weekly clear and log out so they can go play Destiny 2 or World of Warcraft or something. Or like, I don't know, or maybe they can only play on the weekends. Maybe they're just too busy with work and family, right? And they just want their clear right now.
Right.
All of a sudden, the consistency of the JP macro and their methodology, you know, you start to see its value in a situation like that. Whereas, you know, we want to see memes happen. We want something to make us laugh, right? And eventually we'll find the time to get our weekly clear if it comes down to it, right?
I mean, and that's the average player. They want to get in the party to succeed. They don't want to go in there for any of the other stuff to it.
Right, exactly.
And so, I mean, and I've done a lot of Party Finder where I don't do it on stream, and I'm just joining because I want to clear or progress or do something that I'm trying to do. And it's tough because I would like that in that way, but I know every single group is different, and the diversity of the different attitudes that we have in NA is so large. And what they're used to, they were in their static and they did some weird strategy, and this is the strategy they're used to, and so they can't do whatever you're doing, or that's the reason why they're not able to go left instead of right. I mean, like, I make that mistake. I do Party Finder for 3 hours on Leviathan, and I'm always the right tank, and then the next group I'm the left tank, and then I go right accidentally. I'm like, I fucked up. That's okay. I just say I fucked up because I was doing that, and that's my fault. I don't say change my spot. I say, hey, I'm sorry, just some background. If you care, I fucked up because of so, you know, and maybe they don't give a shit. They're like, oh, you fucked up. Because they're coming into the party. They're like, this is my first time. I haven't been here I've just logged in tonight. I only have a few hours. This guy just fucked up his positional. Very easy thing. And they're not happy, but they're not going to say anything. They're just going to sit there. The next time it happens, they leave the group. Right? I mean, and that's kind of the mentality I think that we have from a lot of people going into Party Finder is they don't give a shit. So I posted this, right? I posted this on Twitter. I was like, how much do you guys care about how you affect the other players when you join a party? How much do you really care? And everybody was like, I care too much. I'm nervous. I freak out. You know, I really care about what these other players think of me. But in all honesty, 90%, I still firmly believe don't give a shit about what's going on with these other party members. They only care in their ability to help them with their goal in this Party Finder. Would you agree?
Yeah, pretty much. I think ever since they did the cross realm thing, right, where you're playing with everyone on Ether, it's kind of expanded the community of people that you know. When you're confined to your own server, you just knew people on your own server. So like names that, you know, if you're doing the same content, they'll be familiar to you, and you'll just like, I remember this guy, right? Party Finder, yeah, every now you'll run into, you know, the same names every now and then, but there's some degree of you know, there's some degree of anonymity, right? Like, you know, people don't know each other, and I don't know, you don't have to worry too much about it because like people will forget about you the next day, right?
Right. And that sucks in a lot of our minds because I like community, right? I like being able to talk to people. And that was the one thing that I was worried about when Party Finder was becoming cross-realm is that you're losing that community. But hell, I can log on and there's usually a party up for what I need most of the time when I go up into Party Finder. But you are sacrificing that, hey, I messed up. Now the people on my server are going to think I suck, and so they don't care as much because they're going to get into another group of people who don't know you. Unfortunately, for some people, that's not the case. You become a little bit more known. Like every time Arthars gets in my group, I'm like, God damn it, man. Now I got like a few hundred people just looking and watching my every move, ready to just say how shit. And, you know, it's funny because I don't think everybody feels like that, but I get that little sense of like now all my moves are being watched, right? I don't really care anymore, but I can see a lot of people have that feeling when maybe like someone that they know is a streamer gets into their group and maybe they don't want to be in that group anymore.
Oh, definitely. Like I got kicked before a party because somebody told me they are not comfortable. I'm like, what? I mean, you're playing an MMORPG game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether there are people watching, even if there's no one other people watching, but there's still 7 other people in your group watching your action and what you are doing, right? So what the fuck do people mean they are uncomfortable? I don't get it. Sometimes I don't get it. Like when you go to school and you sit in front of 40 other students in front of the class, don't you feel uncomfortable as well? Then you might as well don't go to school then. Don't learn. Stay home school or something. I don't understand. So I feel it's just something that people wants to put it on us. Like, hey, if you fuck up, you fuck up. If I fuck up, I fuck up. Somebody's gonna say something, even if it's not whether people are watching or not. I don't get why people have this, which is fine. Which is fine. If you're uncomfortable, it's fine. I can leave. Dude, don't put it on me. Like,
has anyone ever asked you to like leave a party? Yeah, me too.
No, they didn't ask me to leave, but they just either kick me or they just leave themselves.
Okay.
Then we all like,
well, you know, to play devil's advocate, I mean, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety, you know, especially getting to raid content, and it already takes like you know a lot of courage to just step in there in the first place, and now they find out that they got like either have like 250 viewers on Arthur's stream, or in my case, like 16 viewers on my stream. Just
that's my stream. No, yeah.
but like if they're not comfortable with that, I mean, I can totally understand that, right? I mean, with us, we don't care. Well, obviously, we're not going to be nervous on our own stream, right? But like, because
I've accepted my identity of being a kind of bad casual. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like you get into a party and you know, if somebody's just straight up like, yeah, I'm not that comfortable being streamed in front of this many people, would you leave without question? If
that was the person I was, where I wasn't comfortable with
no. If you're the streamer, and someone in a party finder playing with randoms, they said, I'm not comfortable doing this with this person in the party because I know how many people are watching now.
It depends on majority, to be honest with you. If one person said that, no, that one person could leave. If like 7 people in the group are like, hey, we don't want you in here, I'm like, well, obviously the group doesn't want me in, and I'll leave. But I don't know. How do you guys feel?
They're all friends or something. I'm just saying, I've had that happen where it's like I join a group and a bunch of them are friends, and one of them is uncomfortable and they feel really bad about it, and they won't even tell me. So they had to, one of their friends had to message me. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I respect that. And just dip.
Exactly. I think that's fine. If you talk about it, that's fine. Like, don't just kick or leave, because again, it's the same. Okay, we are talking about anxiety here and or streaming here, but isn't that the same in PF? Like, if you join a PF and you do 2 pulls and wipe, don't just leave. Like, again, tell us what's the problem. Problem is, okay, I can't perform well in these circumstances. Okay, I'm not used to this position. It's the same, right? Letting others know, right? Which it's funny because if we talk about this streaming aspect for PF, it's funny because it's the totally opposite in JP. JP 4 years ago do this. 4 years ago they do this. 4 years ago they go to Nichan. 4 years ago they post on their JP forum. 4 years ago they post on Twitter. Insert name here is a streamer. did not tell other 7 members they are streaming. I found out that this guy is a streamer, blacklist this guy. JP do that 4 years ago. They hate streamers. They hate us. They hate the people in Nico in their own streaming community. They hate it. They hate their own JP players that stream. They hate it.
Okay.
Why
So,
is that?
because again, privacy. They are not comfortable with being shown on stream. They are not comfortable that people that they call it the listener, which is what we call Twitch chat. Those people in comment section, they don't like people to talk about them. They don't feel comfortable. So either you ask them permission when they are streaming, even if it's PF. When you go in, you have to tell them you are a streamer. Otherwise, they will ask you, are you streaming? And you say yes, they will kindly ask you to leave.
Okay.
If you don't even say anything, and if you're streaming, and if someone in the JP community finds out, they're going to link you, they're going to link your Lordstone, everybody will blacklist you. So sometimes you will find that, why can't I join this party? Then you get your out or something. Then this person will say, oh, I blacklisted you because on Nichan, it says that you're somebody who stream and doesn't ask permission. 4 years ago, a lot of this happened. Now it's funny because 4 years after we got JP player streaming, Haru Glory spearheaded streaming community in JP. Now suddenly every JP is okay with streaming. And then now we have this problem. I'm sorry, Arthars. I'm not comfortable.
It's so rare though. It's so rare for that to happen.
It is pretty rare, yeah.
Very rare.
With randoms, yeah.
It's very rare. I mean, I say this to a lot of people on Twitter and on Reddit. If you want to go on Twitter, if you want to go on Reddit, this is what you are served. A piece of reality. This is what it is right now. You are playing a game. It's no longer like before. We are playing closed door. Now we have all the tools. We got Discord. Trust me, even if on stream you're not being shit on, if you're in a group that one of the people likes to shit talk you behind the scene on Discord, your name is gonna be everywhere either way. Okay? Welcome to the internet.
Nothing's
might not be on Reddit.
Nothing
is private anymore. I'm sorry. That's the internet. It just happened that this time I'm the judge, right? Otherwise, somebody else is going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Just you have to. I mean, I guess this is also something that you have to, especially in NA, you have to realize that when you go to PF, we have a lot of NA streamers as well, a lot of new people starting to stream as well, right? We have a lot of people trying as well, right? You can't just shut them off. It's the same. Yes, I get it. If the 7 of you feel that this one person streaming is not comfortable for you, okay, kindly ask. We will leave. You don't have to kick us. We know how to handle this situation as well, right?
God, I'll never be able to get into a party again after this. It was like, you got to go, Bok.
Yeah.
You got to go. Bye.
Yeah, if it becomes a problem, it's like almost every party, you're like, okay, well, fuck this, right? Yeah, you'll start saying stuff and be upset. But, I mean, if it's like once every once in a while, sure. It's not a big deal. I mean, and to be honest with you, I think the majority of the time, half the people don't really know the streamers. And so they're like, whatever, it's just a regular group. And they don't realize they're on stream or anything, but it's just not in their head. They don't think about it.
You know, there's one thing I plead, right? Anybody watching this stream, you know, our name kind of give it away. Obviously, Xenosis, Vex, Bok Choy, something Arthars. I know our name give it away. Don't be that guy in the party, right? Oh, look, it's Arthars. Oh, look, we are on stream. Mom, I'm on TV. Don't do that. we personally don't advertise. We don't put in our search command. We don't type in party and say, oh, hey, I'm here. You know, like we just hi. We just behave like a normal person. Okay, don't put us on magnifying glass, because now then you are making other people uncomfortable. Sometimes it's not even us making uncomfortable. Sometimes it's like people on Discord, hey yo, we are on stream. Well, we are on whose stream? We are on Arthars stream. Arthars who? Arthars, the guy that is on with Xeno right now. They are squad streaming. Oh, what the, you know? Why do you want to stress out your friend? We are just to play video games, right? Sometimes don't do that. It's really awkward. And at the same time, not just people don't like it, you might make people, you know, I say this, girls, right? Especially girls in party, right? Some girls like to be in the spotlight, right? You don't suddenly bring another guy in the party and say, oh shit, look, it's Arthars. This girl is going to sit there like, what about me?
Are you fucking Arthars? Did you just say that?
Some people do that. Guys as well. Oh, I'm that pillar of this group. Oh, yo, we got Arthars here. We're going to get carried. What about I'm here to carry you as well. Like, oh, now it's a competition. Now I have to perform better than this said Arthars, and then we can shit on him. Oh, Arthars make a mistake. Ooh, you know, don't do that. Don't make us don't put us under the spotlight. We try to be just a normal humor. We try to be there to play. We just want to play video
one
games.
One person in the party, right? You're one out of
one person
in the party.
Yeah, I'm just one guy. Don't put me as the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 member. You know, we are just here to play video games. At the same time, yeah, don't stress your friend out. Right? If you know it, we're not gonna say anything. If your friend don't know, we are sometimes making a reaction out of them, right? Then that's fine. It's like in school, right? You go to school, hey, Frosty, what up? You know what I mean?
Well, I've gotten used to that. I've gotten used to it. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like treat it like real life, right? Like, don't be that whistleblower. You know what I mean?
Don't be the whistleblower.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. So past streaming and everything else. Anxiety is a thing that people worry about. Whether it's you're on stream or you don't want to mess up because you don't want to be the guy that messes up in the group. And I feel like I don't think that people should care as much. Because just try. That's my focus. I don't want to get in Discord. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be that piece that gets in. And by the way, Discord. I hate Discord. And I'll talk about that in a second.
Really?
But,
yeah. I'm interested. I want to hear that.
Yeah, I can't stand it. But anyways, when I join a group, I just want to be that piece of the puzzle that's doing his job and succeeding at the group's objective, and not having to do anything else. I'm just there, focusing on me, focusing on my ability to do well, not worrying about anyone else in the group, just worrying about what I'm doing for the group. And I feel like that's the way I enjoy the game. And it helps me out a lot because I'm not stressing out. I'm not thinking about, I mean, when I mess up, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry I messed up. You guys are either like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck, or yeah, whatever, you stupid piece of shit. But it's usually just silent. I put it in there so people know I'm not ignorant, that I'm making mistakes. Right? I will say last night, when you were in the group with me, Arthars, there's one moment where I was like, they messed up the crumbling down and it blew up everywhere. And it was where it fell down was kind of where I was standing, but I didn't see a marker over my head. So I sat there. I was like, did I mess up? Do I need to own up to this? Or just, I don't know. In the end, I didn't mess up. It wasn't me. But I was thinking, I need to say, I understand I messed up if I messed up. But I was certain that I didn't. So I was feeling in that weird little spot. But I feel like it's important, like if you do make a mistake, just to let the other party members know that you understand what's wrong, why you messed up, and so they feel more comfortable going forward. And if you keep making that mistake, maybe they'll just say fuck this guy. But if you don't and you've improved, then great.
Yes, definitely. Because I feel saying sorry is very difficult. I mean, not just in game, right? Even in real life, right? Saying sorry is very difficult. Like sometimes you mess up, you will be embarrassed. I mean, think about it. If you again sidetrack a little bit to the streamer side. Can you imagine how hard it is for us to own up when we make a mistake in front of people? Especially, people, I thought you were a great player. Oh, I'm not. I'm just another player. I also fuck up. I don't make mistake. I'm also a human. But do you know how hard it is to type it out sometimes? But of course, try to mean it, but at the same time, understand that, again, voicing out something can help. Because sometimes when people don't understand, it's the same for JP. Don't say sorry. Oh, 10,000 ways to say sorry. Nobody knows what's the problem. Tell us what's the problem. I messed up. Okay, he knows. The worst is you don't know how you mess up. Now, again, sometimes you don't. That's why we are here to help. And again, on our end, as a fellow party member, we can try to ask it nicely. What happened? I think you put out that. Sometimes people read this message as this guy is toxic. That's why we don't dare to type. A lot of streamers are now very refrained to typing. We are scared, right? But sometimes it helps, right? But we should be in an environment where we shouldn't be afraid to ask, or like, I don't want to say point out, like help out. Because I think at the end of the day, we just want to click on that. Like for me, sometimes I put it in the jovial way. I put smiley face. I say, I'm sorry. That was totally my fault. It's hard to type, man. Trust me. Sometimes it's hard to type, man. But I think personally, if it's really your fault, you 100% guarantee it. Or if better, like if Frosty is streaming, he have VOD or something he can check. It's good to let your party finder know. Responsibility, man, like it's important. If you get kicked, you get kicked. Hey, I mean, you really fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at least, put it out there. People can see that you mean it. Others can help. I guess that's important.
Right.
I don't know.
I think it is. I mean, the other situation is no one says anything and you just keep going. And I think that usually, sometimes that works out fine.
Like that.
But
I don't like that. I don't like that. I think as a team, you need to diagnose the problem together. Everyone needs to acknowledge what went wrong, so they know how to fix it next time. Or if you like, I've even seen statics do that. It's like, what went wrong? I don't know. Let's just pull again. It's like, how are you going to avoid making the mistake? If one, you don't acknowledge you don't know what the mistake is, and two, you don't really talk about it, right? But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, like people don't want to fess up to their mistakes because they don't want to seem incompetent in front of other people, right? But I don't know. I feel much more at ease when somebody makes a mistake and have acknowledged, yeah, this is what I did wrong. My bad.
Yeah.
So he knows, at least you have the confidence that this guy knows that he did that wrong. And that's not a guarantee he might not make that mistake again, but at least he's acknowledged what he knows. He understands the mechanic, right?
And I get in those situations too. I'm like, all right, this guy messed up. I saw what he did to mess up. Does he know he messed up? And then I'll think, should I type it out and be like, hey, look, do you understand this? And either he's going to be like, say nothing at all again, or he's going to say, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, I get it, sorry. Or he'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just fucked up. I'm like, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Now you're wasting my time, though, because you could have just said, oh, sorry, guys, I did this. And we don't have to debate, do I have to teach you that you messed up on this mechanic and you need to learn, or there's something wrong here? Because it's, instead of doing 7 more minutes of the fight and them messing it up again, I could have spent 1 minute or 30 seconds going over that little part and it would have been fine. I'd like to have that assurance before we go in again with it.
Yeah, you see that difference? You see the difference between nobody says anything and then all of us are guessing, doubting, versus you say something and we all know the problem. And then the next pool just become different. The next time you fuck up, okay, this guy just said, this is the second time he done this mechanic. Okay, first thing first, let's not go into why the fuck are you here if this is only your second time. But hey, at least we know what's going on now. We just have to hope he don't get it, or we just have to somehow find a way to deal with it. Yay, that's what we are here for. We are here to help. But if you don't say anything, and the next 5 pools are the same, like I don't want to call out like that score, like that co-healer I had yesterday. That is what I'm mad at. I'm not mad because it's a practice party. Yesterday, your party was a phase 1 to phase 2 practice party, right? So all the mistakes is all accounted for. I can understand why. But there's this specific person, my co-healer, that doesn't seem to know at all. And he's better geared and he's trying to optimize, yet I don't really see good result, yet I don't see improvement, and yet nothing was said. That's what I'm mad about. Like, how am I supposed to help you? I mean, there's only so much suck call I can press, but that's what I'm usually mad about. Not because individual is in the wrong party, but just simply no communication.
Right.
I think it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough to deal with it, and I know there's emotions, right? There's always the emotions of like, oh, I'm scared to say anything. Maybe, and there's always that chance like, oh, if I'm really lucky, they didn't even know it was my fault, right? And so they could be counting on that. But I mean, it's better just to say it, because I feel better if I know I messed up and then everyone else knows I know, so I don't have to think about it anymore. I hate all this like pending confusion that's completely unnecessary. But I mean, I'm going to step back real quick and talk about Discord, because this seems like a lot of people are kind of curious about this.
Okay.
I can't stand the thought of joining in a voice chat with 7 other random people who could be literally any kind of horrible on voice. Any kind of horrible. And when I'm talking about horrible, I'm talking about the entire time they're playing, I hear every single noise their keyboard makes. I hear their roommate behind them yelling about, hey, it's time to pay rent. I hear their mom wondering if the trash was taken out. I hear
crying in the background.
I hear the huge sigh every time someone makes a mistake. I hear all these noises, and then like chip eating, all this crazy nonsense it's like nails. It's nails on chalkboard for me, and I can't stand it. And then I have to say, hey, can you please fix this? And then they're like, oh no, I can't. I play on PS4. Great, fine. Cool, you know, just mute yourself. I don't want to hear anything that you say.
Yeah, people who can't control their fucking microphones are the worst. And it's always on PF because if it's in a static, you're just like, okay, you need to fucking cut that out. It's pissing off the rest of us, right? But I don't know how people deal with it. I mean, it's just, I guess they don't have to hear it, right? But anyway, as far as getting on Discord though, just mute them. Just mute them. You don't need to hear them. You don't need to hear them. They need to hear you.
That's
they
true.
Hear each other, but you don't need to hear them. If it bugs you, just mute them. Just mute them right away.
But then what? Well, I don't want to talk to them. That's the other thing. I don't want to I don't want to have conversation, and that's fine. So the other thing is, like, that's fine. They just want you to hear them. But that's distracting to me, because this guy's calling out a mechanic that I know when it's happening, and I don't care to hear what he has to say about the mechanic. I just want to do it. Like I was saying earlier, I like to join a party, be the person who does everything they're supposed to do. I don't want to discuss what I have to do to make up for someone else.
You know what? Let me come up with a counterpoint.
Sure.
I'm going to reference an older fight. So some people who are newer to the rating scene or might not know about it, but there was a fight back in Sigmascape called Guardian. 07, Guardian. Okay. And Guardian would do a random order of mechanics. It's either pattern A or pattern B, right? And if you don't know which pattern it is, you could kill everybody. Okay. So here's the thing about Guardian, okay? You're not in voice chat, and the next mechanic is coming up. It's like whatever program, paste program or whatever, and it's a memory game. You forgot. You have to remember what mechanic is coming next, right? If 7 people remember and 1 person forgets, that 1 person can wipe the entire raid.
Yep.
But you get on voice chat, if 7 people forget and 1 person remembers, he can save the entire raid by saying, oh, guys, it's Air Force. Oh, guys, it's knockback, right? Now everybody's, oh, yeah, it is knockback, right? And they won't kill everybody. So that is the key to that fight. I'm just like, you know what? We're in Party Finder. We're getting so close, but everyone keeps fucking up the last mechanic. Everybody get on Discord. Get 8 people on Discord, boom, kill it the next attempt. And that has happened so many times when I used to patch, when I used to PF that particular tier, right? Yeah.
So
I'm gonna voice, and 1 person making 1 call can save the entire party.
I'm gonna counter that counterpoint. So when I'm in Party Finder and I'm going through and I'm doing everything, I'm focused on the fight. There's nothing else I got to pay attention to, and I'm sitting there in Discord. I'm like, okay, they called out stuff, great. Then I'm ready for this next mechanic. So my farts in the fucking mic, and then I'm distracted. And I'm like, oh, what mechanic happened? Then I die. It's because this guy just fucking farted in the mic. It's not because, something else happened. I lost.
I knew you wanted to say that.
It's just, it's so, I've had so many bad experiences.
So it's been more of a distraction than a benefit, right?
Absolutely. I'd rather have ACT, which I don't have, calling things out for me. I'd rather have ACT calling it out than listen to someone else call it out for me.
Sometimes sometimes they call out wrong as well, and then you double doubt yourself when you were convinced you were right, and then you were like, "God damn it, I knew I was right." That I guess anything can happen when you go to the voice chat, but yeah, it's hard, man. Like for me, super small sample size. When I go to JP voice chat, they are mostly quiet, and then you start to wonder, why do we even use voice chat? And then in NA, voice chat is sometimes they like to, usually sometimes they are friends, half a static, a few friends in there. Sometimes they like to
I hate that too. I'm going to be honest, I hate that too, but keep going.
Sometimes they talk things that we don't like to hear. Sometimes they talk things like, and again, sometimes they're like, oh my God, it's Arthars. I hate that the most. Oh my God, it's Arthars. Oh, big fan. Okay, I get it. Can we right? Sometimes it makes other people uncomfortable as well. Sometimes other people excited as well. And then that makes other people fail the mechanic when they are supposed to. Or sometimes they expect you to call out and then you don't, or then you call out wrongly. Oh man, all the repercussions just happen. For me, I think there are times it works, there are times it doesn't. I mostly think it's not needed. I'm scared to join. The only, in my mind, right, the only reason why I might join is that maybe there's a cute girl in there. Otherwise, for me, there's no reason for me to join any Discord.
This guy.
Yeah, that's
guy.
Me. Don't you guys want to find out who is this person in our community, in my server? Oh, I've seen this white mage before. Is it a girl? The name? Don't you guys want to find out?
Oh God, I don't care. What? I have no interest at all. I'd rather just not. I don't know. I'm just past that point. I guess.
You can tell Kerr's like right at the door. It's just like,
no, she's at work right now. But I mean, like the thing is, when it comes down to it, and going back to like half of them's static members, right? So they're sitting there and they're talking about like, oh yeah, Kiki did this funny thing the other day, and she was like, the cat jumped on my keyboard. I was like, ah! I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to do this content. I don't know if it's because I'm so antisocial, like outside of this game. Like I don't talk to anybody. I don't do anything else. Like if it was Bok and it was like, people I knew and I knew exactly what I was getting into, I'd like to talk to them and everything. But joining in some other random group of people who are having this crazy socialization that I just don't want to be a part of. And I'm sorry. I know things are great and fun for you, but I'm a horrible person. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think you should be forced to get on Discord. Okay. You know what?
I was kicked out of groups for it multiple times. So yeah.
In PF, you can put whatever rule you want in the description.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And sometimes one of the rules is Discord required. And if you don't want to be in that environment, you just don't join that group.
I agree.
So I have a question. So kind of segueing that into like the topic of the PF description.
Yeah.
Is the PF description like fair game? You could do it. You could do and say whatever you want and exclude and include people on whatever basis you want. Would you agree on that? So I posed this question. I posed this question once on Twitter just as a poll, just for fun. And like the vote was so split on this. And I was kind of shocked, but basically what I asked was, okay, somebody sets up a PF for a clear party or whatever, okay? And then as somebody joins, they go and check the FF logs. They look up their name on FF logs. And if they're dissatisfied with what they see, they'll just kick that person.
Yeah.
Is that fair game? Is that toxic, or is that like completely legit? What do you think?
So all right, I got so many opinions. Arthars, you go. Sorry, I'm the host. Go ahead, Arthars.
Well, it's fine. It's refreshing. It's the first time I see Frosty have so much to say. I'm actually very excited to hear as well. Okay, I think it's fair. If you want, it's your party, it's your rules. Now, if people want to use FF logs the way it is, I mean, they themselves might be missing information, or they themselves might not see the whole situation, then maybe this person could be a missing piece that can help the group, but it's not something that you like to see. Then this guy, I would say, this party leader lose out. That is the consequences. If he wants to go by his rules, he's going to miss out on some things that he maybe missed, or some context that he's missing, and then maybe misunderstand how it should be, because we don't know, right? If you just say orange only, we don't know what this guy actually wanted. You mean orange in random parts, or you mean orange in static, or you don't care? Because I can be orange in static, and if I were to go to your group and your group doesn't do the way I want, or I think that you will be doing, you are doing an unoptimized setup, you are doing paladin to the corner for Omega baiting missiles, then I'm not gonna get orange. But again, if you're asking for orange, I expect you not to do that. Now I join your group, and then you are like, okay, oh wow, you're orange paladin. Can you bait missiles? That doesn't make sense, right? So I think a lot of things, these are the things that I think, again, once you read the PF as the joiner, you should be expected. what if. You should be asking yourself all the what ifs before you join. It's the same for Discord. Discord only. This pass only. Been to this phase so many times only. Show proof. All this you have to ask yourself. Can I just show him proof that I'm a dragoon dead on the floor on the 0.1% enrage when my party was doing the work, the last 10%? You know, you should be asking yourself all these questions before you join and then the leader kick you. Because when you join and the leader kick you, he already hold the pitchfork already. You are there for him. You should be judging yourself. I don't think it's the leader's fault. Now, if the leader is over expecting and the group doesn't work, then that's his consequences for his wrong expectation. But I don't think the leader is at any fault. I just think that, yeah, you yourself should be more careful when you join this type of group. Like for me, I never joined Fun Run. I never joined Pass Run. I never joined a debate run. 0 to 1 chairs, clear for 1 page group. You enter 0 out of 8 member is eligible for duty. Like what? Like I don't join that group because I know it's gonna be a debate, and I know if I were to join Pass Run, most likely I myself is not gonna get good pass. You know why? Because these 2 other fucking healers is gonna glare and broil so much. We are most likely dimensional shit. Those healers are the one that's gonna have fun, not me. If I join turn 1, Pass Run, those healers are the one that's gonna have fun because they control whether we leave and they control whether we get good pass. I mean, you can't even get good pass in a good group in turn 1. You need a shit group to get good pass in turn 1. You see, all these questions you ask yourself before you join this type of group, before you join the party description, you should be asking yourself this. And though you join, you get disappointed, you get kicked. I don't think the leader is at fault because I think you got debated.
No, I agree 100% with you. Listen to what the party finder has, the person who's leading the raid. He needs to set his expectations up, or he, she, whatever. They need to set their expectations so you can get people who want to be in that group and want to be with that type of mentality. For example, Arthars last night, I put no Discord. I was thinking, you know what? I put lazy learning because I don't want people to come in there and think that I'm really trying super hard and I'm super educated on the mechanics. Yeah, so I just made some shit up. I was like, lazy learning. All right, so everybody coming in here is going to learn very lazily. All right, that's okay because I wanted to be laid back and I don't want to give a shit when I'm there. And, you know, other things. If I join a group and it doesn't say Discord, I'm not expecting to get in Discord. So if you guys want me to be in your Discord, put it on your party finder so I avoid the fuck out of your party because I will not join it. And that's fine. I don't want to join it. And you'd be like, oh, here's our Discord. Oh, I'm not going to join it. What? Why does it have to be a conversation? You could have put it in your description. Not everybody expects to join Discord.
So lesson learned, make a really good description. Well, if you're going to make a party finder, make a descriptive description.
But just put it, the words, put Discord. Discord, clear party. Just super. You don't have to say.
You hate Discord so much. You hate Discord.
It's just I'm tired. I'm exhausted from the day, and I join in a group. I join in a group because I want to do something. It's not because I want to talk to people. And I have to talk to people all day at work. I have to talk to people. Here is where I have fun. I enjoy talking to people here, but there's so many situations where I have to talk to people and I don't enjoy it, and I don't want to add playing Final Fantasy 14 to that list of where I have to talk to people because it's mandatory. And I don't know, man. It really is. And we kind of get back to this conversation about Discord, and I'll say it over and over again. I'm sorry if that's strange.
You don't want to get on Discord if play with strangers. Okay, that's fair.
That's it. I don't want to think
the opposite of you, man. I'm just like, oh man, there's like these guys look like a static. I'm like, hey, you guys on Discord? Can I come hang out with you? I'm like the opposite of you.
That's crazy,
are you
man.
guys having a party without me? Can I come?
Jeez. Yeah, no, I like it that way, but yeah, I mean, when we go back into descriptions and everything, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of descriptions while I was doing progression through Savage. I had no clue what the fuck it was. There's so many abbreviations and so many weird stuff that I'm like, is this a strategy? Is this something I have to know?
There's strategies.
Yeah.
They're literally strategies. Like, it's like O2Y3. Okay, what is a Titan? What is a complete?
It's HMRRR something H.
No, that's Leviathan.
Oh, okay, Titan.
Leviathan has that. Okay,
I know it is.
Titan.
A to B, C to D, HT South, DPS North first uplift, uplift 2 groups.
YOYY or OYYY.
O2Y3,
Merry-go-round.
merry-go-round.
Oh god, dude.
It's crazy. Like I will personally say right now, I have no clue what the fuck that means, and I'm sure I can ask as long as it's like a common abbreviations that you use for multiple different groups. It's something that you eventually learn, and it's fine. But like, it does get kind of confusing. I wish it wasn't like that. A lot of people. It's funny. I kind of miss the days that were like, hey, this is a sex farm group or something for like Shiva Extreme. I'd rather almost have something comical in there than this weird, crazy thing that I need to get my decipher code out and like turn it around and see if I understand it.
Okay, do you think if NA is going to do that, because JP, everybody already knows the strategy. It's in the macro that everybody obeys religiously, but we don't have anything like that. Do we need like a glossary for these strats, or like a central place where you can go like, oh, I don't know the strat. Where can I go to understand the party finder standard for this data center, right? What is O2Y3, right?
Right. I don't know, maybe, but I mean that would also come into the part of understanding, like reading a guide and understanding the fight beforehand. I think you could probably piece it together a decent amount. It would be nice to see.
Names. They use names. Like in JP, the macro, I mean not macro, the PF description. I mean they have the macro when you are in the instance, but before the instance, just PF description, right? They were like right now JP got I think 2 to 3 strats. But they have they have names for it. They have names for it. Like for example, in AlphaScape, how they do Hello World, they have Haru Glory 1A. Their team is called 1A's, right? So it's called 1A strat. And then they have other people's strat. They have Owen strat, you know, and again another JP fella's name. And then back in Sigmascape, they have Unreal strat, which is the NAFC. So they have names. So when people see the name, people know, oh, so this strat is done this way. And then when you get into the instance, when you join the group, which is you know how it works, or you don't, and then you join the group, they have the macro to back it up, and then you're like, yeah, this is what I know. So it's like double layer. That's how it is. But in NA, right? Sometimes when I see yesterday, like I would type in chat, yesterday I saw O2YL, O3YL. I'm like, what the hell is L? And then they told me L is lateral.
Lateral, yeah.
What? Who comes up with this? And then OYYY. I legit thought the person is like greeting me, oi, and I reply me, hey. OYYY. I'm like, what the fuck is OYYY?
Orange, yellow. Yep.
I feel like it almost needs to be strat explained when you join, right? And then you just have a little macro that you press when someone joins and they want to know what the strat is, and it lays it out. And it's done. I don't know if that needs to be a factor to whether you join. I don't think it's doing it like maybe it does. Maybe people don't want to join if it's not done the way that they're used to, and they don't want to learn a new strat. I mean, that's possible, but I would probably join a group that does a strat a little bit differently to try to clear it than I would avoid it, right? I feel like it's not so hard to try to learn a little bit different.
But you know, I think this is kind of like a source of like of party finder anxiety or party finder aversion, right? Is suppose somebody, you know, they're in a static. They learn the fight a certain way, right? They learn the fight a certain way, and then for whatever reason they're not running with their static anymore. Maybe they left, maybe it disbanded, or maybe they only run for 8 weeks, so everyone gets their weapon and they'll go their own way. So now their only source are like friends and like party finder, right? And they're not familiar with the strategy, and they see all these acronyms and they just don't want to join anymore because it's like, I'm just going to join, I'm going to fuck it up. I don't know the strat. I don't know the strat, so I don't want to join because I don't know the strat. Do I want to do it? Do I want to kill it? Yeah, I kind of do. I still need gear for whatever job I'm leveling or gearing, right? So I think, honestly, I think the best solution, I really wish the NA would, at the very least for like the positioning, you know how we like we get around the marker, right? I kind of wish we do it the JP way, where there's like kind of like a set position for every member of the party. So I don't know.
Positioning.
I mean, I think
it's been a long way, man. The positioning came a very long way. Like JP macros, okay. when we talk about positioning, it's always about protein waves, right? Your inter and your cardinals, always. And for JP, right, since the longest time ago, right, it's been established. Main tank north, sub tank south, melee DPS 1 left, melee DPS 2 right, DPS 3 top left, DPS 4 top right, healer 1 top bottom left, healer 2 bottom right. It's been established. It doesn't matter what fight. It's always like that. So people just assume. People stop asking questions. Like, do you know how bad it is for a D3 and especially D4? Okay, again, this is something that is established. D4 is always a caster, right? Can you imagine how bad it is for D4 caster to go to Omega fight on the top right as a black mage? Can you imagine that? When you have to do your Larbot, Starbot, after that you do your flamethrower as a black mage, you have to go all the way top right. That is insane, man. But they just do it anyway. They don't give a shit about optimization. Like, this has to be very established, though. I think any different group, different setup, because I think any don't mind what setup you have. Sometimes you have a monk and a samurai. Sometimes you have 3 melees. Sometimes you have 3 range. I don't think they mind, but like for JP, right, they specifically always, unless desperate, they will put like 3 range. So yeah, I'm not sure whether how NA would like to tackle it, but hey.
I mean, do they have in JP Party Finders? Is it really no matter what your party is going to be 2 melee, 2 ranged, or do they have it to where there could be 3 range, and they'll be like, oh, we adjust.
Range could take a melee spot,
or like 3 melee.
DPS 1 or DPS 1.
I mean,
DPS 2.
They do RF as well. Sometimes if you RF, you get 3 range. So sometimes someone just have to remember, but sometimes they just don't. And then after 1 wipe, then they're like, oh, we only got okay. So I need to take a DPS spot then, a melee spot then. Yeah, sometimes very rarely, very
right.
Yeah.
How many groups have you guys been in where you didn't have 2 melee and Leviathan, and then they won't do it?
They won't do what?
Like, don't even start?
Yeah, they're just like, oh, this comp won't work. I mean, I've seen it more often with 3 melee. Have you ever seen it to where people like do 3 melee and they're like, no, my uptime's going to be down. I can't be a part of this group because my uptime won't be good in Leviathan because there's 3 melee and I got to move away.
Depends on the melee, I guess. Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen that in Leviathan.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, 3 melee don't work. I'm gonna leave. Yeah, but I've never seen it where it's one. I don't know.
Sometimes I've seen it with range, but it's not as much. It was like one time I saw that. It's more often with 3 melee, and because then it starts to complicate it because people can't be close to the boss. And I think that's the thing. Like, and a lot of people, they don't have fun if they feel like they can't do their best, right? They can't optimize and be impressive to other people because they have to value the mechanic and clearing it over doing good DPS, which I think kind of goes into the topic about FF logs and how it affects Party Finder, right? And the way that it does with people playing, and they always have to be in an optimal spot. This isn't everybody. I'd say like a good amount of the people who join groups, they want the strategy to be optimal for how they're going to do their best, right? No? You guys would disagree?
I've seen people make that request where it's just like, yo, can I take this spot? It's better for me. And then the other party member was like, no, I want it. Or they'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll trade you. Right? I don't know. I've never seen it as being that big of a problem, to be honest. But on the topic of people wanting the party to cater to their parses, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that where people do like they'll do the high risk strategy in a party that just wants to clear, right? I will see, you see that all the time, and then because I guess the people join these 0 chest, 1 chest parties for an attempt to beat their personal best damage amount or something. And if it's just like, oh, this strategy is not going to work for me because I'm not going to be able to do it, without my uptime, right? So yeah, you see that every now and then, I guess. Yeah, I
see it a decent amount. Like people are constantly arguing. They set it up a way, and they're used to doing it in their static that's unoptimal, and they're like, "This is what I'm comfortable with." Then this person's like, "No, that doesn't make any sense," which he's right, but he's not going to change. And if they can't get to an agreement, the party disbands.
He needs to change his attitude. Honestly, you got to see what kind of party it is. The way I see it, okay, your party finder. Okay, your party finder. You got 8 people in it. Every every party member is a piece of the machine, and you try to get the machine to do its intended purpose, right? Which in this party, their intended purpose is to clear the fight, right? And that's just how it is, right? So sometimes, you know, you have like, you know, everyone's a cog in the machine. This cog's not turning the right direction, right? What do I have to do? What role do I have to play in this party to make this party succeed? When it becomes about your own parse, like that's like extremely selfish, because there's 7 other people who don't give a flying fuck about your FF logs or your uptime, right? Unless your uptime is unless it's like,
unless it comes to beating the enrage.
Yeah, it comes to beating the enrage. It's like, okay, you know, we're cutting it a little close on DPS here, and it's not that big of a risk to have the melee, you know, go and get some uptime here, sure, right? But at the same time, it's just like, as a paladin, if you have to throw a clemency at this one part to make sure you get through it, you know, I'm going to throw that clemency, right? Because like, what are you there for, right? To clear or to parse? You know, are you there for yourself? Or are you there for everybody else? If you're there for yourself, then like, you know, that's selfish as fuck, and that's like, you know, yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel.
I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't even know where to begin. I feel FF logs, right? Again, if we just talk about FF logs, how do people look at it? Now, there's different people who look at it different way. Now, this is where I like the part where NA doesn't have a macro. For example, in Titan, when you put down the marker 1 and 2, dips, right? Now, I don't want to main tank, but I also want to, like in JP, in EU, if the macro states, if you want to main tank, aka you want to pull, you want to main tank, then main tank get a top platform for uplift too. No discussion. If you want to be the sub tank, you want to do lazy work,
you go
then
in the
you
back.
Top platform. So, I don't want that. I want the best of both worlds. I can get that in NA. I can be a sub tank, and I can call dips on the front row, and I can greet the yellow card, things like that. So, of course, I'm not going to do that at the sake of risking them not clearing. If we get enough try, usually one try, we will know, okay, this guy can't main tank, this guy can't position. I need to take over the positioning. Okay, you got weapon, I don't have, you take the front. I guess these are things that individual needs to identify, right? When you want to go in and pass, I think join a pass party, join a static. Yeah. If you really want a PF, don't expect to get a good pass. But you can find your way, I think, in a reasonable spectrum that you can ask, can the range go to the 3rd square? Can the tank / melee get the 2nd square if it's landslide? Can this position, can the melee go all the way north so that the first blue marker, the tank get it?
Can reach the boss, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I guess these are reasonable. But if it's JP or maybe even EU, if you have macro, you don't get this. Now, you can't have that fun. But if you play in NA, you know that these are some buttons you can push. These are some buttons you can try the other member, and then you yourself can try to get a PB. I think that is okay. But if you want the whole group to adjust to a positioning strat, for example, Leviathan, you want the whole group to do same side. You want the 2 tanks, you want the tank to take the flare when you do Stormy Horizon together with the party, and then you want the 2 tanks at the roiling pulse to take the flare to the front, and then the party just slightly behind. I think that's a little bit too much. If you expect to get a good pass in turn 3, go join the static. Because Q time, number 1, and the flare position, number 2, especially if you are a tank, you are not going to get a good pass in PF. All right? You can get orange. If some people doesn't get satisfied. Some people are even satisfied with purple. Not everybody. What do you want? If you want the best, then I don't like even turn 2, I would say, because of Q time, you can't get a good pass in turn 2 as a gunbreaker. I can play a perfect gunbreaker in that I can pot, I can get my best flare up time, I can do a movement that Party Finder is used to. Maybe I will get a 95. I try my best again. You can't, sometimes you just can't do it. But you have to understand when you join the group, what do you expect? Now that's the thing. The biggest offender in Party Finder when we talk about FF logs are the healers. Fuck you, healers. You guys only care for yourself. You guys only care for yourself. You guys are only, I'm sorry if you're one of these, and I don't care whether my camera is off freezy and you guys don't capture every single one of my reaction right now. Okay? Healers are the worst offender. You are just pressing 1 fucking glare, maybe 2, Dia, I don't care. And then you cannot identify your poor co-healer is struggling in PF. Oh, I just want my good pass. I don't even care whether they clear. If they can clear with me getting a good pass, yay. If not, fuck this group. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. I hate
White, bad, parse are the same. They're both the same to me.
Well, no, I mean, that's funny that you say that,
No,
because
when people have that attitude, it's awful. Yeah.
yeah, when they come into a party and they're like, okay, I only care if we clear, and I do well when we clear. And so they do everything they can to do well, and if they can't clear doing that, then they don't care about the clear. There's a lot of people who think that way, and it sucks.
Healers, man, I'm telling you, there's so many times.
Oh, man. When you get two of them in the same party, it's a tug of now the whole party. It's basically a tug of war to see who can heal less, and the party is basically the rope, right? Oh god, back to Sigma Skate. Do you remember the painting boss? Where you have to paint. Neither healer wanted pink. They're just like, I'm not doing pink. I'm not doing pink. White mates should never do pink. It's like, well, I'm skull. I put up bigger numbers than you. It's like, and then like eventually, me as the Dark Knight, I was like, I will fucking do pink, you assholes. I will fucking do pink. You guys, I want this party to clear. I will fucking do pink, right? But yeah, I've seen it so many times. Two fucking healers just crying. The whole party, we can't even pull because the healers are arguing who has to do pink.
Yep,
I don't know what is worse. I don't know what is worse. Are you guys that bad to play a DPS? That's why you don't fucking dare to play it? Or because you think that as a glare mage, pressing one button is easier, so I'm comfortable with this job and I don't play this as a DPS? Dude, you are supposed to be that benevolent guy, the guy that pulls the party over the line. There's only so much a DPS, so much a tank can do.
You're supposed to be one of the good players.
You are supposed to be the selfless guy that brings us over. We are all here to help. But healer, at the end of the day, in parks, in PF, healer is the pillar. A good healer that can balance everything right, that can understand. I call it the holy triangle, right? Yeah. The healer that can balance the DPS mechanic and DPS mechanic and survivability healing is the best healer. Most healers don't get it. Most people, to be able to identify how much you can squeeze out of the. I mean, of course, you personally deserve to have fun, to do good numbers, to press more glare, to press more bright. You deserve it because it's your time as well. But it is, as a healer, right? If you want to pick this role, you want to go PF especially, right? You want to do it in your static, I don't care. But if you want to specifically go PF, right? It is your job to identify. For me, that is what defines a good healer. Not a 10K white mage that makes
absolutely
suffer.
Some healers, they think they're hot shit because whatever FF logs tells them, right? Whatever number their whatever color their number is on FF logs, they think they're hot shit. But they can only function in an optimized environment. When someone dies, they can't do anything about it. They don't know what to do, right? When the whole party has vulnerability, they don't know what to do.
Right.
3 people are dead. They don't know what to do, right? Basically, I know a lot of people, they're just like, I hate playing healer in Party Finder. I hate playing healer in Party Finder. I was like, oh, really? Why do you hate playing healer in Party Finder? It's like, oh, because sometimes the tanks don't pop cooldowns. Sometimes the party takes extra damage. I can never get a good parse. Like I always do so poorly in this fight, and I'm just so like, my mana stretched. And I'm just like, that's why I love healing in Party Finder, is because when you have the tank that can't pop cooldowns worth shit, you can make up for them by mitigating properly and spending that extra GCD to fix that problem. Is it good for your numbers? Probably not, but like just your ability to carry your tank, you make up for people's mistakes, res and still have mana left over, and make up for like a weak co-healer, like your co-healer is struggling with a fight, so they can focus more on mechanics, right? I mean, you could be that person as a healer. You can carry hard as a healer when some people are just like, they don't see it that way. They only see the cup as half empty, and they're just like, I can't get a good parse because I always have to make up for a bad tank, or I always have to make up for dead DPS, right?
And I think the important lesson from all of this is, if you're joining a group, make sure it's a parse run, or make sure you're in a static if you're trying to get good numbers. That's where you need to do good numbers. I'm not saying don't try to do good numbers in Party Finder when they're trying to clear something, but don't make that your priority. Find out why you're not clearing and figure out if you can make that happen. That's what your priority is. Figure out how we get through the fight. If you're going into a parse, yeah, absolutely. Cheat the fuck out of it. Argue with the other healer. Try to figure out how you can get a good parse, because that's the point of the group. But if it's a group that's just trying to clear the fight, understand you're going into an environment that is looking for that, and that's their value of success. Not you getting your e-dick a little bit longer, right?
But being said though, as a healer, please try to do some DPS. You
Yes.
can still do all the carrying. You can still do all the
Carrying
carrying.
so many ways, man.
That's
DPS
right.
You can still get a DPS even though not as good. Like say instead of 10k, you do 6-7k. That is pretty much still a decent amount that can still carry a group. Don't feel that, oh wow, this group I can't get near my PB. My PB is 9-10k. This group can get me only 6-7k. Dude, that is good enough. In that PF, looking for that is good enough. You don't know how much better you are already doing than others. That's good enough. To help out to clear and not just go for. If you want that, play a DPS. Like as a tank, you can get away. I think tank, that's why I enjoy playing tank so much in PF. I think as a tank, right, almost every single turn, if you play your best, the numbers speak for yourself. And you're helping DPS and you are popping cooldowns properly, you are fine. I think tanks can get away. Maybe even Black Mage can get away. You don't need to rest. So I think Black Mage can get away. Play this job then. Don't play a White Mage, please. Like let other people do that, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, also understand that when you're going in there and you're trying to push this extra DPS, your healers might be part of the people that you're carrying, so you have to disengage to reduce the damage overall. So you got to see what your role is to get the clear, and it may not be doing orange parses. I mean, again, that helps, but it might not be the reason that you would get the clear. Sorry, I kind of got into that a little bit.
It's all good, man.
With that as well, the other thing that's really been bugging me a lot with Party Finder, and this is just this tier, literally mostly just this tier, is the loot.
Oh,
It is so horrible. It's horrible.
Oh, you think it's horrible?
I think it's horrible because this is
what's
the only
horrible?
way I get loot. I don't have a static in any regards at all. My
I want
loot.
to hear how all of you feel about this as well. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
I want to know what you feel, because I personally I get all my loot from my static. I only have one character,
So
and then when I join Party Finder, there's no loot stake or anything. But I want to know what you guys feel.
okay, let me do this then. Since I'm solely with Party Finder, when you join, there is a chance that you can get all the drops. You can get everything. You can just get whatever the fuck you want, right? And that's part of it. You can go in there and you can get it all. And that's fine, because, eventually you're just going to get stuff because you're going to get really lucky. But the problem is you never stop the other people from rolling on shit they don't need. And so you're always, and I see Arthars because he's done it. I know Arthars has been on that side.
I'll get my defense later.
Yeah, and so, I mean, the thing is, I join it, and I'd like to get this gear. If I could have a static, sure, I'll have a system, and I will eventually get this gear. Great, that would be wonderful. But fuck my life, I can't do it right now. I don't know when I can play. So Party Finder is my way to go and progress and get gear. And so while I'm doing this, and I'm going into a group, I have to hope that I'm just lucky that week. And I have to hope the drops that drop are the drops that I need the roll on, because they might not be. They might be something else completely. And so every single week, I'm rolling against 8 people. I'm never not rolling against 8 people. I'm always rolling against them, because that level 1 Black Mage that they just said, hey, it'd be really cool if I had gear for it later on, they're going to roll for it. Because that's just it.
They're going to roll on shit they don't need.
Absolutely, and it's just going to go to the trash.
They don't owe it to you to be like, yeah, I don't need this, so I'm just going to pass it.
Right.
They're just like, they don't care about you.
And see, that again, that goes back to that question I asked about how much people actually care about what they do in the group to affect other people. This is a thing. I don't roll on stuff I know I'm not going to use. I pass on so much shit that I don't need, and I only play one job. So you know what? Right now, I'm only playing Paladin in Raid. I'm not going to roll on any other gear unless if it's going to affect my tank stats. If I go and play another tank, sure, I have gear for it. But I am not going to roll on it because I just don't care. It's not going to change my life if I get a piece of loot that I don't need. And I might help someone else out. So that's my part to it. Arthars, I know you kind of have a different perspective. Feel free, man.
Welcome to the jungle. It's all about,
I knew it.
It is all about survivor. Okay, first thing, you really want loot, you need a static. Now, I know not everybody is entitled or static. Fine, park it. Do not expect people to give you loot. Okay, it is like, okay, let me do some simple math. There is a total of 9 coffers every week, plus the useful one items, the point and the code. That's 11 items a person is entitled to roll a week. Rating, turn 1 to turn 4, 11. Now you got 8 people in the static. Technically speaking, on average, on a good given day, an average day, one person should get no more than 2 loot, but at least 1 loot. Okay? This is what your PF. This is have to do with PF. When you go into a PF, doing weekly turn 1 to turn 4 with 8 random parts, your expectation of getting a piece of loot is 1 to 2. Maximum 2, minimum 1. Okay? Now you don't get shit this week. Fine. You don't get shit next week. Fine. The third week, you get 3 loot. Bam! Your shit evens out. Stop complaining. But
it never evens out.
Okay?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Now, that's not the 3 piece of loot I need. Bro, the game RNG doesn't satisfy you because whether it is or it's not your best slot. The map only determines that you get 1 to 2 loot a week. Okay? And if shit evens out, if you get 5 loot this week, and if the next 5 weeks you don't get anything, you already got what you deserve. Oh, but the 5 loot is not what I want. That is your problem. Oh, but if I pass on it, it does. What if I pass on this that I want that I didn't need, and then I roll on the one that I need, but I don't get it, then I become 4 loot. Great. You have learned the way of the jungle. Loot everything. Every map for yourself. Survivability. You got your loot. God gave you something. God throw you a piece of bread. But this is not the bread I want. Then shut the fuck up and eat it.
Okay, I'll eat this brick that you just threw me to eat, right? So it's pointless, right?
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Sure, Bok.
Okay.
Arthars is right.
No, I disagree. So no, here's the thing. He is right. He's right in the fact that this is the world and this is the system and we can't control it and that's how life is. Yeah, that is completely correct. But what I am saying is that it's fucking broken and it could be fixed by a different system, and that's my complaint.
Well, welcome to the wild west. That's it. If you wanted the item, you should have rolled higher. That's it. That's
yes.
it.
Okay.
I mean, you have to play within the confines of the game. I mean, if you don't like it, I mean that's how the game's designed.
But I can complain and hope they change it.
In the ideal world,
you can.
I want the gloves. You want the head. If you pass on the head, I'll pass on the gloves, or whatever, right? And then you're just like, oh man, that works out, right? But now you're in a group with 8 randoms. Everyone's rolling on everything. You freaking hit. If you see need, you press need, right? If you see greed, you press greed. If need's grayed out, you just roll it. I don't know.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
You want to almost done. You go first. You finish your.
Yeah, almost done really. Okay. I mean, I want to closure properly to Frosty's end first. So I'm sorry for interrupting. I totally agree it's a shit system. System. Okay, if it's the previous system, I think we have the same problem. But I guarantee you, even if it's the old system, almost the same rule apply. If every week you get 1 piece of tank loot / healer loot / DPI loot, you already win. Now, that might not even be your best in slot. Same shit. Okay? Hey, a Dragoon gear drop. I got level 70 Dragoon. The other Dragoon already got it. The other 6 people don't have Dragoon level. Don't expect them to pass it. They're going to roll it for the glamour. They're going to roll it for the retainer. That's what it is. This coffer only make it worse. Yes, I don't need a glove. But I'm balancing out my RNG. Because so then, I can't complain. I got shit luck. Hey, Arthars, how many loots you get? I got 1 loot. What did you get? Did you get best slot? No. What did you get? I get a hand. Do you need it? No. Then why do you roll it? Well, I can't complain now. I didn't get anything. That's our defense. That doesn't matter whether you need it or not. What I want to say is, you go by mathematics, this is how it works. Now, this system, I totally agree, Frosty. This system is shit.
It's shit, yep.
this system is shit.
And I do my part to try to make it better, even if it doesn't help me. I don't give a fuck. And it's my and I'm not. And I will let you know. I never ask. I never complain. I never say shit in Party Finder. I never try to argue the fact that someone shouldn't roll on something. I know how it is, and I know I need to accept it. And I will not be happy that that's how it is, but I'm not going to put that on other players who are literally just doing what they're trying to do in their working system.
I agree with you.
But I will do my part because I feel better that I push that shopping cart back into its little place for me to put the shopping cart in, right? Because I know
expect that from anyone else.
Yeah, I don't. I will flip them the fuck off, and I'd say you're a piece of shit. Arthars, you're a piece of shit for that, but that's okay, right? No. See, here's the thing.
I mean, I need it though. I mean, I really got other jobs I can play though. Yeah.
Will you, if you use every piece of gear that you got from Savage?
Yes. Only one glove that my alt got on Twitch Prime, my EU alt, only got a gunbreaker level. I already got a glove. I got the other glove. But my defense, I think I said it on stream before, I really wanted to play because EU needs a scholar. EU needs healers. EU needs barrier healers. If you play in EU enough, you will know that EU have not enough players, and then not enough healers, and then not enough. It goes by tier, not enough players, and then when you finally get player, not enough healer, and then when you got a healer, it's a white mage, not enough astrology and scholar. I said it multiple times on stream. I'm gonna level a scholar in. It might not be in time this time, but in the future, I might even make it this time. To be honest, I'm just waiting to buy a jump pod. I want to play a scholar. I want to help out the EU community. I want to also help out myself. Weekly clear, make it faster for me. I can go in a scholar. That's why I'm learning scholar. That's why I'm now happy with my scholar. I want to jump pod that scholar. And hey, you know what? When I rolled that hands, right, I was telling myself, do I really need it? Okay, I even asked Chad, is this best slot for scholar? Although I don't have it now, I will do it. I'm going to level it because I want to have a scholar in EU. That's why I roll on it. And I'm really happy.
If you level it and you put that gear on before the next tier comes out and you need more, you just get that gear instead. Great.
Okay.
That's great. That you're putting to use as a human being. Good. You know, as just like I can't control shit. It doesn't matter because I can't control it. The thing that I'll say on this as well, if they wanted to fix it, all they had to do was make it every single turn. You can only get one drop. You could just get one. You have to pick which one of those drops that you can get, and then you're gonna maybe pass on the other ones, or you're gonna do whatever else, or you'll do like I do when you're doing normal and you're trying to get gear from normal, which you know you guys might not be as experienced with because you just because it's much better to go out and get crafted gear. But I'm lazy and I'll go in the normal mode and I'll sit there and I'll roll on everything that I don't need. I'll pass on everything I don't need, and I'll sit and wait to roll on the stuff that I do need for other people to get their drops, and then they can't roll on into other ones that I need. I automatically rule them out from the stuff that I need, and then I'll roll on the stuff that I need. And after I see that happen, great. And I think that system would work perfectly fine if they did that with Savage.
They will fix.
I can only get one piece.
Yeah.
Per week, per turn, even in a static or just puck.
I don't know if it should go into statics as well, but absolutely, a loot setting would be good too.
Okay.
I think they'll fix it though. Because even JP doesn't like it. So I'm pretty sure in second Savage they will find a way to fix it. I'm definitely not this time. It's too late already. But second Savage, I can see them doing some sort of changes because I mean it's so quick. Like. I think in the very first live letter after Shadowbringer, even the JP already made enough noise that Yoshida had to talk about it. I think it's pretty huge. A lot of JPs are complaining it as well. Gearing now, it's great for static, but again, even in the JP community, right? Most people play in Park, so all the more important feedbacks that they get are from Park. So I would be surprised if this loot system still stays in. The next Savage. It's shit. It's really shit.
Yeah, I mean, and it would be great if you could only get one piece because that would rule people out from rolling on stuff they don't need because they're going to focus on the stuff that they need. I feel at least that's the case, but I don't know. All right. Well, are we done with loot? We said what we needed to on that.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about a little bit more. We've complained a good bit about Party Finder. But there are reasons it exists and why it's very popular with a lot of people. Would you guys recommend, say, hey, if they is Party Finder an actual solution to progression, or do you guys feel like Party Finder only if you have to use that for progression do you use it? Do you feel like if you had the opportunity of saying, I could maybe get in a static and I could try to progress, or I could progress solely through Party Finder? And I know you guys are a little bit biased because you have your own statics and everything else, but do you feel like there's any legitimacy to someone saying, I want to prog through Party Finder?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why the hell not? Why not? I mean, it's funny because like people treat Party Finder like it's this terrible place where awful things happen because everybody has a nightmare story about Party Finder, right? But I don't think it's nearly as bad as people make it. Not nearly as bad. I mean, I love Party Finder, right? Like all people, you always hear the negative, you always remember the negative things, but then when things go smoothly, it's just like, you just forget about it. It's like, oh, okay, cool, we killed it, right? But a lot of people exclusively learn content through Party Finder, and they clear pretty quickly. Like within a few weeks, they have everything cleared, and they'll move on to the next tier. Exactly the same thing. They'll PF everything, and eventually, there are struggles that you have in PF that you don't have in statics, of course, but you can get everything done in Party Finder. You can learn everything. Even at this stage, you can learn something. You can learn. You can learn everything. It's never too late to get into it. So I don't know. I don't buy the whole Party Finder's not for learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arthars?
I mean, not everybody have time for static. I think it's great that Party Finder, even for NA, I think it's great that even in NA, we can see since Deltascape. I mean, I think if ever since they released Crossword Party Finder, right? I'm actually quite happy that it became to this stage where people are actually trying in PF. Every time when I open PF, I see 40, 50, 60, although not consistently the hundreds, 200s yet, which I think should. But seeing people actually trying PF makes it happen. I think it's great, and also give us chance for people that are still learning, and then we can help them, and or people who genuinely we always make fun of Monday 2 chess. We always say that there's too many 2 chess. It is bad for us, but if you actually think about from part point of view, people are expecting more from themselves. People are expecting people to be willing to, even if I see Sunday learning to clear 2 chess, like wow, oh shit, like wow, you guys are you guys want 2 chess. That's actually really nice to see. Like people are willing to, in a way, it seems more patient because they are willing to see the way. They are willing to learn more.
I think it's greedy. I thought it was
no. I think it's at the end of the day they don't clear. It's really stupid, but they try. You know what I mean? So people are understanding that PF can be. People are willing to take PF as a slow process. I think that's okay because if they want to just chop get it done, right? We might be in an EU situation. No people is playing the game after Tuesday. It's really, really bad.
I mean, that's right? Kind of NA too. I mean, I do. I'll let you know my experience.
It's all right.
Recently,
it's pretty
still all right.
Mondays, man.
Yeah.
Sunday, Mondays.
Still all right.
So I used to do it to where like, oh, I need to get my clears for the week, and so I'll do it any day besides Tuesday, and I'd come in on Friday, be like, okay, I spent a few hours on the first turn. Wow, why did that happen? Okay, a few hours on the next turn. Holy shit. Okay, and then I go into E3S, and it takes me 10 hours to get my clear for the week because I have to find a group that can actually clear a 2 chest. It was very painful. I spent 15 hours trying to do just my weekly clears, and 15 hours is a lot of fucking time for me. It's a lot. So I have to log in on Monday and get those more expected solid 2 chest clears. But that's me. I mean, if you have the patience to go in there and do it later in the week, then sure, but I got to do it Tuesday. Learning, I could do later.
You could do it like on Friday, or Thursday. You could do. I think there are plenty of groups, aren't there? Because like Monka TOS, but I was on a friend's account yesterday doing one through 4 all in pug by myself, and that took about 6-7 hours.
That's
So,
very kind of you and very brave of you. Although I'm sure it doesn't matter. Yeah.
yeah, like it's. I guess I think PF is like the success rate of PF groups has gone up since previous years. I think this tier is just easier, to be honest. But you know,
I don't know how easy this tier is compared to other tiers. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's hard for me to really say, but I feel like this one is. This one's at a good point. Like I feel like it's pretty solid.
I think it's a good spot.
overall.
Yeah. I think this one is a good spot. Success rate high for PF is good. It's really good because it encourages people, right, to learn, to settle, to spend more time, right? And I think this game needs it. Now, I personally, I know this might be super unpopular opinion. I personally, right, is still waiting for the day, right, that ultimate can be done in PF. Now, this could also mean that maybe ultimate fight will be too easy. But I think, right, make it really hard. Make it only the field that truly only just PF can clear, just that field that can clear in PF. I think that will then make PF really much like basically set its tone like, yes, you can achieve anything in PF. Because right now, I don't think you can just strictly blind PF 8 people and clear ultimate at the moment, even for the level 71s. But at least, you know, at least that shows you the difficulty in the content. That also means that the higher success rate PF has means that the easier the savage is. But I don't know. I prefer it to be that way, that you can do everything through PF, learn even everything through. I mean, like, we don't talk about Frosty. Obviously, Frosty.
I'm an exception. Yeah. No, it's fine.
Right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Like a lot of people have clear Titans. Not okay. When I say a lot, I mean by now a lot. But during week 1 and week 2, there's only like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parties. But slowly, third week become more, fourth become more. I think that's what it should be. And I don't think this tier is that much easier than like Delta Scape. I think this rate here is okay. So I think people are spending more time and more patience in PF, which is good. Yeah.
I will be honest. I don't think most people are in the position I am with their availability. I think some people do have time at the end of the nights to maybe get on and clear if they wanted to. Not everybody is working 40, 50 hours a week and taking 5 classes and putting on a podcast every week. But I'd say there are busy people out there, but I do take it to the extreme. I think I've spent maybe 2 to 3 hours in Titan total so far, and so I'm getting better at it. I'm getting used to it, and I'm lucky, and I don't feel like I need Square Enix to be accommodating to me because of my time. I feel like it should always be at a decent difficulty level for people who can put in the time for it. But besides all of that, I have progressed myself through this tier, all through Party Finder. Every single bit has been through Party Finder. And it hasn't always been, you know, I go in and I have really skilled players coming in and helping me clear it. It's been completely random, hoping that the people who are in the party, because I don't stream it all the time, and you guys don't know. People don't know when I'm doing a Party Finder, and I join in other people's groups. And so when I'm doing it, I get that experience everybody else has when they're just trying to progress through Party Finder with no outside resources or anything else. And I like it way more than being in a static. And I don't think I will ever go back to doing a static, because I feel so much less responsibility doing it in Party Finder than I do having to make it every single day at a certain time. When you go into the casual side of raiding, it's not just you go through it and you clear it within the first or second week, and then you kind of do whatever afterwards. It's months of meeting times at certain times every week for a few hours and making sure your entire group is there and dedicated to these couple hours every single day for months. And that's exhausting as shit. That's tough. If I go through and I can clear in the first or second week, just go really hardcore, that would be way better than the current situation I'm in and that other situation. But this one here, where you're trying to just make it part of your daily life, it's a lot to ask, man, especially of like adults today.
It's not for everyone. Even if you have the time, some people don't prefer being
Yeah.
on a schedule. It's just like I'm scheduled to play Final Fantasy on Thursday evening, but what if on Thursday evening I want to play a different game?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like playing a different game, and that's just how some people are. So, you know, I'm
Yeah.
so glad that PF rating is an option.
And if
right?
I progress faster than my party and my static, it doesn't matter. I can go to the next tier of progression in Party Finder. Oh, I was on phase 1 earlier today, and I figured it out really quick. Oh, I'm on phase 2 groups now. So you join a phase 2 group. Oh, I'm on phase 3. You go faster than just, I have to kind of make sure everybody's at the same level and pushing it forward. It's so much better right now doing it in Party Finder than it is trying to lead like a casual static, I think.
I mean, some people like it, to each their own, but
yeah.
You know, but honestly, it's like, I think progging through Party Finder is like perfectly fine.
Yeah,
it's super fun, and you also only have to worry about your own learning and your own experience. You don't have to like, be like, okay, person in this, person in your static, wait for them to understand it, and just kind of like, deal with that. You only have to think about yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this is a phase that I'm like, if I'm struggling with this phase, I'm taking longer to learn this phase. I'm still learning it at my own pace. I'm just going to go and into another Party Finder that's progressing on that phase, right? But if I learn it quicker, like you said, you can kind of skip ahead and look for a party that's more advanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
I assume, right? I assume if you are in casual static by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
PF is better than a lot of casual static. Hell, PF is even better. Again, like Bok says, individually. There are 7 other individuals out there that might be as thirsty as you, that must be as motivated as you, that really wants to clear faster than finding a group. But of course, not as fast as a fast static, but faster or on par speed as a mid-core static to get a weekly or learn the fight yourself. There is enough people out there that can fulfill that. By now, right, if you still want to lead or still want to make like a static that rates 2 times a week, 4 hours a day, I don't even know why the hell you guys are still making it. I assume either real life friend, exactly, real life friend, or there's a girl that you really want. No,
why does everything fall back to like a girl?
It's Arthars too.
Because that's the only thing I would do. That's the only way I would.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I would, I would make it all right. I won't be using my main and just like, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And also, okay, reverse it a little bit. Casual static, please. I've seen it so many times. A lot of you guys are like, oh my God, my static abandoned us and go to PF. Listen, maybe you guys are either too slow, or you guys are not in sync, or you guys have different expectation. Maybe this person wanted to join you for fun. End up, you are not fun enough for him or her, and they decide to go to PF and ditch you. Don't get all butthurt, man, because, hey, the PF is pretty successful. And if you guys don't pick up as your casual static in the first place, why do you even bother? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. PF is good. Like, just let them do it. Maybe it's just not what you want or they want,
And I'd also say, besides just like doing it, going through maybe with progression, going through for other reasons, not for me, because I'm an antisocial piece of shit. But for other people, you can go out there and meet people, and you can talk to them and find actual people that you would want to play with. And I think that it's actually not a bad way to do it. Maybe you like getting in those discords and you're like, oh man, I love cats too. And so you guys can talk about how your cats jump on your keyboard. And so it could be something that's actually positive socially for people. And it's kind of like a safe way to do it, because if you don't like them, that's okay. You go to the next party. You're not ever really forced to stay with them, but you could actually maybe get in some groups that you'd want to be in. If you're Arthars, maybe you can find cute girl voices that you can listen to. You'd be like, hey, I want you to talk about anything. And you just sit there and you try to convince them to have more conversation with you, Arthars. I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah, I just want to make friends in the MMORPG. Isn't that what MMORPG is supposed to be? Make friends? Like, are you really just satisfied with just playing with 8 of your static every day, raid logging, complaining there's no friend to play with? And then if one of your static members say get pregnant, or say have a wife, or say decide to quit the game because they got a raise in a job at Google, and then now my static only got 7 people. Oh my God, now we are left 1 person. I can't play this game anymore. I got no friends. Whose fault is it? I just want to make friends. I just want to go to PF and make more friends. If his girlfriend is even better, it's more healthy, I think. Right? Why not? I just want to make more friends, right?
Oh, jeez. Arthurs, I gotta ask you, man. Like, are you constantly just like thinking about, girls and females, and that's just all that's really on your mind, like all the time, or is it just like,
No,
oh, okay,
no.
all right.
Like when I play Final Fantasy, I always think about trying to get a good pass. Sometimes I want to look for 2 chess party. I don't
Parses
even
and
join.
Are you
bros.
looking? Never mind. I was gonna make a bad joke.
I
Keep
mean,
going.
I'm not even like really joining Discord. It's like, hey, I mean, if you want to make friends, both, right? Like, hey, I live so much longer than you guys already. I have enough male friends. I talk to enough males already, all right? Give me back my time with the girls, man. Back then, I don't have all this technology you guys have today. You guys have Discord, you guys have Twitter. Back then, I don't even have a 56K modem. I didn't get the chance to talk to girls back then. Give me my time now. What's wrong? I'm just catching up. You guys have more chance than me. You guys should be sympathizing me right now, right?
Yeah.
That's toxic, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bok, have you? I'm just gonna ask you. Have you met anyone through Party Finder, and you're like, okay, now I still play with them, and I'm glad I met them in Party Finder?
Yes, tons, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I will other people you just kind of like, oh God, we had this one time. We were doing a O12 group. It was an O12 group, and we're doing it we made our last pull 10 minutes before maintenance. Okay. Zeno was in this party, and Zeno was in chat. He probably remembers it. And then when the boss was like sub 3%, people started disconnecting because of the maintenance. So people were getting kicked off. They kicked out of the party, and we wiped at 1%. Nobody got anything. And that was the first time clear for what have been 4 people. And and then that person went and posted that experience on Reddit. And what did we do? We went and found everybody in that party and remade that party the next day and killed it for everybody, and they all got their clear. So we just went and got revenge. And I still talk to some of those people in that party. And just like experiences like that, like you when you leave this game, when you quit this game eventually, you're not going to bring your loot with you. You're not going to be able to bring your FF logs with you. That's not what you're going to remember. You're going to remember the good times, right? And like there are plenty of good times to be had in Party Finder, right? Like I know you don't like to do this, Frosty, but sometimes jumping into somebody's Discord and you just like after you kill, you just like shoot the shit with them and just hang out with them for a little bit before you leave, right? And I don't know, I've met like so many people through Party Finder, so it's been pretty amazing.
Maybe one day that'll change for me. I don't know. I just
maybe. I mean, if you don't like to do it, then
yeah, it's just it is what it is. I've had too many just bad experiences, and it's so much more peaceful. Like I like being just alone for a while. It's like my time alone, enjoying myself. But even though I'm playing with other people, it's peaceful. The way that I do it, at least. Okay. What other benefits are we talking about Party Finder? What other great things can we say after we've shit on it for like an hour and a half previously? Nothing.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Good things. I mean, for me as a streamer, right? Good things is for once, right? I can play with like viewers. I can play with like fellow streamers, friends. Like I get into a situation where I can meet even people like Bok. I think I was with Bok. The last time I think I saw Bok in PF is like what? Alpha scale? We just randomly bump into one another.
Yeah, we ran into each other. You almost killed us with the weirdest LB I've ever seen in my life. It did 0 damage. And we somehow
Oh really? Did it do 0?
Remember that? Yeah, you did.
Oh shit. Yeah, like this are fun. Like I can tell you, I mean, in static, we get memories like, yo, we got this clear. In static, we like, oh, we clear ultimate together. Yo, that's that nerd scream. Yeah, but in Party Finder, sometimes even if you clear random, even though there's no voice chat, there's no Discord, but there are things that you can remember. There are friends that you can make. There are friends that mix to your friend list. There are people that the next party you join are these people that you know. Oh shit, I know this person. This person is a party. We have some terms for these people in the PF. Some of these people, you see them in every PF. They are like the PF heroes. You get to mingle with the PF heroes. You get to see this Edmund Cho solo healing stuff. Like you don't even need to play with him. But somehow in PF, you just know people. I think in MMORPG is very important because we already lack all the social aspect that we used to have, running to dungeon, grinding XP party together 4 times a day, 4 hours a day, multiple levels for a straight month. Then you build friendship for them. We don't even have that bridge anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's like behind closed door, their own circle, Discord. I think with PF, I personally get to learn, know a lot of friends. A lot of viewers come in. Thanks for the clear new Twitch Prime subs. Thanks a lot. Right?
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Most importantly, get to play with Xeno, Violent Destruction, people in the Undisputed, people that like you said, at the beginning of the show, you say that I'm in the NA scene for so long. I personally didn't feel like it because I'm not directly involved. But this time in this 4 months, it's amazing, man. Like the last 6 years, the last 5 years of playing Final Fantasy in JP, achieved a lot of things, done a lot of things fast, very efficient. The PF, super mono, 1 macro, get everything done, all characters done. But didn't feel like I built a lot of friendship in JP. Now, maybe because of language, although I still have a close bunch of JP friends, but I make way more friends these 6 months in NA than in JP just from PF, So I think, for me, that's the best part about PF. That's what drives me every time logging in, play Final Fantasy to PF. People say, some of my people in my Discord say, oh, Arthars is just so bored of 40, but why is he still playing it? He's just trying to squeeze out content. No, you guys have no idea, man. It's a brand new world out there, man. It's really, really fun in PF.
I feel the same way. As far as PF goes, like, because a lot of people, they like to raid log. They play on Tuesday. They get their weekly clears done, and then they log out, right? Mm-hmm. But me, I really like this game. I can squeeze so much out of a raid tier, and it's not just because I'm streaming. Even when I'm not streaming, it's like, hey, you guys want to trap or something, right? And for me personally, I like variety. Right? Whether I'm playing a MOBA or I'm playing a fighting game, I like to learn like every character, right? And in MMO, it's just, I like to learn as many jobs as I can. And PF kind of allows me to do that, right? You can just join like a 1 chest, 0 chest. You're simultaneously helping them out and you're learning to play a different job, provided that you have the necessary gear and the ability to play that job, right? So like, I don't know, it's given me like tons of like replay value and like lasting appeal, right? That not everyone, I mean, do I get anything out of it besides like 30 tomes? Not really, right? But whatever happened to just playing video games for fun.
And you get the enjoyment, which is kind of,
exactly.
That's what it is all for, man.
Because I agree, Bok, that not everybody in your group or your circle wants to play the game every day more jobs than you. But PF allows you to do that. You can go any job. Don't grieve, obviously. You can go every job. You don't even need to say, wait for this person to level. You don't even need to say, wait for this person to get motivated and want to learn with you. You can just jump in yourself.
Play with randoms. Exactly.
Yeah. And then your other friends also, again, like I said, not in static, but these other people, they also the same. Sometimes I see the same people in PF in different jobs. They are also trying to learn just like you, and you get the job done. Even if you don't get the job done, you learn. Everybody does something. It's fun.
And the best place to learn a job, jump in like a learning party or a group that's like progging on some phase, because the fight, so you can pass on your experience with the fight to them. But meanwhile, the standards are a bit lower. So if you're going to make some mistakes on tanking or healing, and if you're not used to it, you might die to a mechanic every now and then. You might invoke at the wrong time. They're okay with that because they're learning too. They're just learning something on a different plane than you. They're learning the fight. You're learning a job. You're both learning, and yet they're also still benefiting from your experience, right? So I find it to be like a really good learning environment. Just simultaneously helping strangers and you're learning a job, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would also argue that Party Finder is one of the best places to improve your style and actually be a good player. Not to get like just really good parses, but overall reacting and understanding the fight and things that you might have to do to get it clear if you're in a non-perfect situation. You get that from Party Finder. You get people who are making mistakes that you need to figure out how you can make up for it. Which, honestly, when you're in a static and you're doing your weekly clear every week and everyone's playing perfectly, you don't really get that great feeling of learning how to be a good player. You just get to learn how to be an optimized piece of a very efficient machine. You don't get to learn how to be an awesome, really good player who can make up for other people.
I mean, whoa. I think they can. Obviously, they
if it
can.
depends on your party, I guess. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure these good players, they are so good. I don't think they need to settle for that. I don't think for some of these really good players, I think it's unfair sometimes to say that, okay, you should also try PF. I don't think we should say that to them because they are that good. I don't think they deserve to step down or they should step down. They can spend that time and play, say, WoW Classic or something. I think they deserve that.
Yeah.
But, whoa, to say that, I think they can, for sure. I've seen some people do that. Like, I've seen Momo, Violent Destruction, they can do that. Very optimized setup. And then when they go to PF, they can still...
But they're learning... They also go in PF and learn qualities that you've learned from people who make mistakes, right? Your party doesn't... Most statics... maybe not most. I don't know. A lot of statics are making less mistakes than you'll find in Party Finder, right? Okay. I feel like it grows your ability to recognize things that you wouldn't see because you're seeing the same stuff in your own static. So you get to learn more and you grow as a player. That's what I meant. I didn't mean that people who are in statics are not as good as people who are in Party Finder constantly. That's not what I was driving at. I was saying that it's a more that you can learn. But go ahead, Arthars.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think I saw your question the wrong angle.
Sorry. That would be really stupid because there are people out there who are extremely good players who mostly only play in statics who would do perfectly fine in Party Finder, but I feel if you never go into Party Finder, there's a lot of stuff that you don't really get to experience and learn.
Definitely.
That would make you a better, even that much more of a better player.
You're constantly forced to adapt in Party Finder. You're constantly forced to adapt. You know, you're with a new co-healer, you're with a new co-tank. This guy's used to reprisaling this thing, and that's the thing you're used to reprisaling.
And now you got to learn how to
So one of you has to go to B.
Right. And now you have to learn to watch for buffs, so you could be like, oh, well, he used his reprisal. We didn't talk about that, so now I can save mine for something else instead of just using it on the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so you learn to react to a lot of different things, which is really cool. But okay.
One thing I'm most sad about PF is FF Logs, the way it is done now. Because, you know, back then, right, in Alphascape, Sigmascape, right, when I play in a good com, right, I feel like trick attack timings, I feel like battle litany, I feel like change strategy. All this timing makes it really fun in PF because, like you said, you don't know you don't know what to expect, you don't know and do what, but when you squeeze it in, like, oh shit, this guy's trick is 10 GCD instead of 5. Oh, I'm not going to save stuff for it, but within this 10 seconds, I'm going to try my best. But now, right, because of how FF Logs is, right, I feel like kind of edge a little bit because I no longer give a shit about what Ninja does. In fact, I hate Battle Voice and Battle Litany right now. So that's the only, again, it's not something to do with PF. It just happened that FF Logs is part of the game already, right? We can't just ignore it, right? We can't just close one blind eye. It is the part. As much as we don't care that much like other people do, but sadly it's part of the game. And this is one thing I think I miss. It's one thing I think I miss. Yeah, in PF.
Okay.
Optimizing to the bad players, yeah.
I feel like it's a good time. We've been going at it for about 2 hours. I'm sure chat has some stuff they want to say here too, so we probably should open up some questions for them. And let them go and say what they'd like. So if you guys have questions you want us to go over or things that you want us to discuss, please ask them. Put it in that little form there, and I will go through it. I got this thing. I didn't make a new ad at all. Instead, I'm gonna play this Twitch ad here thing. If it will work, I don't know. I haven't really done this before. Let me see if I can get this going. Hold on. Because I did it the other day, and we'll see if it will do it again. Here we go. All right, you guys ready? We're gonna see. You watch this, you support the stream. If not, then you get to see this stupid thing I'm about to do. All right, here we go. It's going. Now, I was thinking when I get tired, I like to be I start thinking about Arthas, and this is what I think about.
What?
I don't know. I think I got this from like Taiwan or something. I don't even know what it looks like. Maybe it needs to go up the other way around here. Is this a little bit better? I don't know. I was thinking about doing a new advertisement. Since Arthas didn't do an advertisement for me, that's gonna have to do a new one.
I want to do. Yeah, I'm
What
working.
is that?
This?
Oh,
I'm trying to think
that's
how to do it.
awesome.
Yeah. It's something that was picked up in Taiwan, which I guess is now a scene for protesting if in Hong Kong or something, right? You could do that. Well, we don't have that conversation. Are we afraid of that?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that. I don't care. It is what it is. I don't know. This is meant to go to sleep, and so I guess like when you're on a plane or something, you put it on. But it was really weird to see that happen. I think I can do some good videos. Oh, it's supposed to go this way for sure, like that. All right. Anyways, ad break's over. That was for everyone who doesn't see the ad break. You get to see that instead. And we should be back to normal now. We won't go into the Hong Kong conversation here.
We'll do that. Banned for 6 months by Square Enix for being on the show.
No, I'm fairly confident. Although we won't get into that conversation, it's too much. But I will say that Twitch is probably too afraid to ban people over that right now. I would think. I don't know if they are or not, but
challenge accepted.
Yeah, I guess challenge accepted there, right? So we are doing a giveaway. I don't want to forget about that. Which you guys, I'm going to put this on the screen real quick so you can see it. We're giving away these little these key rings, these little charms here that were made. And I didn't really talk about it too much, and I really should be talking about it because they donated this to give it to anyone. And this is U.S. only, and I'm sorry that does not apply to the people on the show. I'm sorry. For everyone that's in Canada and everyone not in the U.S., just the shipping is a little bit too much right now. But let me go ahead, and I do need to give a little information about the person who provided it. Their name is Shadati. And they've been playing Final Fantasy XIV for about 4 years. And they make these kind of charms and accessories. They personalize the keychain and little accessory that goes with it, like the earring that you see over here for Emmett. And if you want to check them out, let me go ahead and give you a couple of links. And they're actually they're pretty cheap. They're only like I think $10 each. There's the Twitter for it. There's the Twitch. And here is their Etsy store. If you guys do not win the giveaway today and you'd like to go ahead and check them out, please do. Because they're nice enough to donate that. And I will start that in a second. I just want to do the first giveaway here. Back now to our regular screen. And let's see. And this is from Definitely Not Slightly Stupid. Arthas, how much do you hate Slightly Stupid? What?
Oh my God.
Is this something that we shouldn't go over?
It's something about healing. Like you remember the segment earlier I talked about the healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That's all it is.
This guy was full DPSing glaring mode, and then that poor other healer couldn't handle it, and then we just die over and over and over. We still clear though, but we just die a lot over and over. Like I said again, I personally go to PF. I also want to have fun, right?
Yeah.
And it was I forgot what turn it was, but I was also trying to do my personal best, right?
Yeah.
And then again, I don't think it's fully Slightly Stupid's fault. His character name that he was full on glaring, and then the poor healer died, and then we couldn't recover, but we scrambled through the finishing line, and then result in not getting a good run myself. But that's not the point. The point is, dude, you should have helped that guy out, because I haven't played Scholar during that time. I say it very out loud. I say if I'm the co-healer, I will be trying my best to help that guy. Funny enough, right? After I play Scholar the next few days, I've been like super selfless team player Scholar, you know. And yesterday I healed with Slightly Stupid again, and yeah, it was okay. Maybe the message I yelled at got through to him, and yesterday I healed with Slightly Stupid, and it was really fun. So hate turn okay. Turn, yeah, no hate them. It's fine, okay.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the giveaway. To enter the giveaway, you have to type in this keyword here, which is called frame rate, in honor of Arthas here. So if you type in frame rate, you can, if you live in the U.S. or you have a U.S. address at least to ship to, you can enter in this giveaway. That's the most important thing, is that there's a U.S. address for us to get this over to you. So type that in chat, and then we'll go back into that here in just a bit. Let's go ahead and hit this other question. Okay. This is actually for Arthars Bok and Zeno. I really enjoy your streams, and I've learned a lot watching. As a healer, I have the tier on farm, but I want to work on optimization and uptime strats. Would you ever consider doing a stream where you host a party finder and teach these strats to us who have already cleared?
Ooh, I'd totally be down. That sounds like a lot of fun. Actually, we just did that off stream. We just did that off stream where we did E3 and we did all uptime strats with like a few pugs and some people who have never done it before. So no, it was fun.
Okay.
We did not get a fast clear. I think we had like 11 deaths or something on our clear. Everybody had fun. But yeah, I'd totally do that.
Arthas?
You want to come with Arthars?
I'm not a good. I can't teach. I really can't teach. I'm not a person that will sit down and teach people what to do. I just cover my end and I just point out people's mistakes, or my mentality is still safe, mostly safe mentality. You know, like I want to be greedy. I actually want to learn to be greedy. That's why I learned from the greed god Zeno, right? Like all those strat that I learned, I bring that greed strat to JP, and JP can't handle it. I bring the landslide to the box where we get landslide uptime. They can't tell where the landslide is going. I do the car strat, melee DPS get scared. I do the solo orange car strat tank, my healer got scared. And then they die and then they blame me. I can't teach them. Like, I want to learn. So if you guys want to make a party like that, I'm all ears to go. Hey, I personally don't mind joining like groups that can try to play optimize, right? But will it be a lot of work for the other 7 people to come together? Maybe. But if there's a group like that, I'm down, man. I'm down. Yeah. Okay. I want to join the group as a learner, right? I don't think I can teach. You don't want me to teach. Trust me, you don't want me to teach.
Okay.
You do not want me to teach.
I think you could teach pretty well. You might feel a little bit bad as you're teaching if you start calling them stupid and stuff in the same sentence. But, I mean, it's fine. Okay, Bok, we have a question for you. Whatever happened to your fangirl?
My fangirl?
Yeah, that's the question. I don't know.
Oh my god, who asked this question? Why are you implying that I have one singular fangirl? That's insulting.
Wasn't there a situation that you had something like that? Okay. We don't have to go into it. It's fine.
It was one time, man. It was
Okay.
It was like 3 years ago. Okay, let's move on.
It's fine. We can move on. All right. As a reminder, guys, if you want to enter the giveaway, I'm going to show it one more time on stream. It is frame rate in the chat. You type that in there, and US only, US addresses that we can ship to, and we will ship you all 3 of these. You will get each one of these. So feel free to enter. Next question here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a slap to Crystal or not, but they're asking if you guys have ever party findered on the Crystal data center and what it was like.
Never.
No?
Never. But one of my friends got... Actually, I don't know. Are we going to go there, Arthars? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Wait,
what was the advice you gave to VD? What the fuck are you doing on Crystal Data Center?
You know, we got this friend, right? Always ask, hey, yo, it would be great if we get a Crystal PF together. We can rescue these people. We can teach them how it's done. I look at him and say, it's not worth it, man. Do these people really want to learn how it's done? I don't think so. So it's not worth it. Now, okay. Let's not shit on them for now. Let's be honest here. I think Crystal PF, the people that we meet in there, if we ever go in, I think is no difference from Primer and Ada.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's NA. It's just NA. As much as we like to make fun of Crystal, I think whether it's Crystal, Aether, or Primal, NAs are NAs. But I do think Crystal data centers PF is frequency is lower. It takes longer to build group, which then means that lesser practice, which then means that lesser time to learn, which then means that slower to clear. I'm not saying they can't clear, I appreciate they can, but yo, if you already got Aether and Primal to play on, why would you pick the third? Like, you got silver and bronze medal to go, you got gold and silver medal to go for. Why do you want to go for the bronze, right? So why do we want to
bronze medal winner
I
out of 3 data centers?
Yeah, right.
Okay, hold on. I think that this is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where people are just like, yo, if you wanna raid on PF, get off of Crystal. And the more people believe that, the more it becomes true, right? So it's become kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy where people jump ship, and like a lot of the serious pug raiders are deterred from staying on Crystal. But I mean, as far as I understand, the game's exactly the same, the raids are the same, the parameters for winning the fight's the same. I mean, yeah, Crystal should be able to do it. But I also find that people love to just like shit on one demographic, like because if you shit on a specific person, you're going to come off as toxic. But if you say something like, "Oh, Party Finder is shit," now everyone's had a negative experience with Party Finder, so everyone's going to agree with you, and that's something that's really easy to say, to complain about Party Finder shit. And same thing with Crystal Data Center. Right, people are just going to say that because you're lumping a whole bunch of people, so you're not offending one person in particular, right? I don't know. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Two, I think that
I would disagree to say that a lot of people are offended by saying Crystal's data center.
Some people are offended.
I mean, a less portion that would be offended than if you said Aether was shit, because there's just less people. But I mean, that's the issue. Crystal just has a less people rating. It's not like they're worse people. There's less of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Frequency is just too low. Like for me, for Xeno, there's no reason for, like even Bok, there's no reason for us to make a primer or play in a primer PF. The frequency is too low already. We want to keep going. We want to join a group, fill within 5 minutes, collapse, next group, fill within 5 minutes, go. Right? We don't want to sit there like 30 minutes. I might as well just change my Final Fantasy 14 stream to just chatting or something. Pull our Reddit thread and we shit on people than actually raid, So if you really want to learn in PF, like Bok says, if you really want to get that turnover rate really fast, Crystal people always, like, you guys have to understand the situation. Do not be so defensive. Oh, what? I look at your stream, you're on Aether 50 PF. I open my Crystal PF, it's also 50. It's different. Your 50 will never fail. Your 50, 30 later will still be the same 50. Whereas in Aether, 50, 49, 48, 40, parties are always going. There's a difference. Now, if you want to rate in PF, if you are only have time not to join static, no time for static, only want to PF, your chance of clearing, learning is way lower in Crystal. Can be done.
You get less action. There's less people. You get less action, right?
Yeah.
And again, guys, you have only a little bit more time here to ask questions, so if you do have questions, ask them now. I know we've done such a great job of the show. We've probably answered all of your questions on the show, so you don't feel the need to ask them. But if you do, this is your chance to ask questions, even if it's about Bok's or Arthas' hairstyle and asking them what kind of products they use. Feel free. Go ahead and ask. And with that being said, we got one more question before I'm going to do the giveaway. So if you guys want to enter in that, you do need to type frame rate in the chat. Momo is asking this question to both of you. Oh, I like how you did this, like, Momo. I don't want to hear. No, he's just asking when you're gonna heal with him.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm a pure healer. I got you. You want to glare? I got you.
Okay. Glare? You'll just go in and glare. You'll ask him to do all the healing, and you'll just see how orange your parse can be.
No, I'm the healer. I'm the scholar. He's the glarer.
Oh, okay. I got you. So you'll help his parse. Okay. All right. Bok, are you gonna heal with Momo?
Yeah, sure, Momo. When?
Yeah, now you gotta set something up.
We never play together.
Yeah. All right, let's do this giveaway here, guys. Let's see. Oh, 69 entries. Nice. All right. Draw. BV Rake. BV Rake. I would know that name pretty well, actually.
Yeah. Seen him around. Yeah.
If it announces,
Yeah. You know.
I tried to announce it, but it's not. Doesn't look like it's going to chat. Did it? Or am I just blind? Oh, accept. I have to accept that he won, and then he has to claim that he won. Maybe it sent him a message. I think Moobot changed some stuff up. This is weird. BV Rake. Yeah, there we go. Has been accepted as the winner. There we go. I don't know why it was acting so weird. Sorry about that. But get with me after the show, and we will organize this. We'll go through. You can message me on Twitter, or I'll message you in Twitch. But if something goes wrong with that, which it has before, where Twitch chat doesn't work with messaging, feel free to just ping me on Twitter, and we'll get it worked out for you. Guys, there's not a lot of questions here. I don't think I do have one that I'd like to ask you guys though. So, what do you think of people that join in party finders and don't talk at all? No conversation, no anything. They'll move, they'll react, they'll do things, but they won't talk and discuss anything. I mean, they have to say, "Oh, spinny orb south," they'll say that, but they just literally they don't communicate.
So the bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
I think at least you gotta communicate, man. You gotta communicate.
Yeah, say nothing. I never met anybody who say nothing. I see people trying to say nothing so that they don't have to do mechanics. I never seen really like straight up just join and don't. Yeah. Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, fair. I've had a couple experiences recently. My favorite thing is when you join in a group and...
Whoa. I'm sorry. One time.
Sure.
There was this one time I was on JPPF, on Tiamat, on Gaia. There was this guy, right? He didn't say a shit. He's got full Black Mage best in slot gear. He's doing less than 10k DPS. He died to almost every single mechanic. He's got Eden weapon full best in slot. So his search command is J. But when we talk to him in JP, he doesn't understand JP. Even the JP start asking, "Do you understand JP?" No reply, no nothing. And then his friend, the party leader, says, "This person is with me in voice chat. He don't speak JP. So he will only speak via me. So I will tell you guys what he feels." So we ask him, "Does he know how to do mechanic?" Yeah. Die to every single mechanic. Can he do DPS? Yeah, from his friend. Yeah. And then he keeps dying. And then it's so obvious he bought his runs, you know. Everybody is so obvious, but doesn't want to say anything. We still got to clear though, but yeah, that is the one experience. How do I feel? Dude, don't make it so obvious, man. Like, you are playing on, first thing first, if you are an NA playing, not NA, if you are English speaking playing in JP, go to Elemental. They have a community there. Why do you choose Gaia? It's all JP here. You are here out of place. You don't say anything. It's so obvious. What are you supposed to achieve? Now, again, this is just JP. This is just my experience. In NA, no, not yet. Yeah.
I mean, I'll have people who join in and like don't react at all. Like you put down the markers, they don't move. You try to organize anything, they just sit there. And then you're just like, "Hey man, do we just need to kick you out of the group? I don't know." He's like, "Hey, no. Yeah, I'm whatever. Just take your spots, I'll pick whatever."
Yeah, they like refuse to communicate and participate with the group, right?
Yeah, they just, any organization of strategy, any kind of anything, they're just dead silent. And you're just like, "I don't know." You know what? On the opposite side of that, I also join in groups sometimes, and then they start talking about the last group member. Then I have to start thinking, okay, they just had a bad group a second ago. Is it because of the last group member, or is it because of them? And they're just complaining. And so like I actually on the opposite side, it's kind of concerning if I see them talk a little bit too much when I get in there. But Sorry, go ahead, Bok, if you had something.
No, that was it.
Okay. With that being said, I think we're kind of wrapping up here. I do want to say to everyone who's watching right now, because you're watching today, I am doing an offline show that happens immediately after this that I recorded earlier within the week, and maybe not everybody will be interested in it, but I think it's something that people should be interested in, which is the voices, the people who actually listen to all of the community and everything else, and they try, even though they get the stuff, they try to get the stuff over to JP and say, this is how NA feels, this is how so-and-so feels. It's the community team, and they try to do that, and not, even though they get the message over there, that doesn't mean that JP's going to be like, okay, I heard him say that, I'm automatically going to do it. And so people could be pissed off with him, so they get maybe heat for other things. But they are the people making everything happen with that kind of middleman between the developers and everything else. It's an interesting interview. I got to kind of understand a little bit more of how they work. So stick around for that. That being said, I do have one last question I want to ask both of you. If you had any way that you would make Party Finder better, if Yoshida was watching or someone else was watching and they were listening and they were wanting to take legitimate advice about how to make everything better with Party Finder, what is that advice going to be?
Change one thing about Party Finder?
At least one.
Big or small?
Yeah.
Big or small? Put an option between 0 chest, 1 chest, or 2 chest in the actual menu. That should be a choice. It shouldn't just be in the Party Finder description, because people disobey that and stuff. And you know, it's funny because like I think Party Finder set up so that you're either looking to clear for the first time, you're looking to farm it, but it doesn't really have anything for people who want to help other people with their 1 chest or their 0 chest, right? So and that's kind of how NA Party Finder works now. Is like that's how we differentiate our groups: 0 chest, 1 chest, 2 chest. So I think that should be a thing in Party Finder, just to kind of adapt to how the community's taken Party Finder and used it, right?
Right.
So that's probably what I'd change. It's just a convenience thing, though.
Okay. Arthars?
This one might be a little bit far stretch. Also something that I personally actually hope that it doesn't implement, but I think they can. Dummy. I think the striking dummy for specific fights in PF should be gated. Now, I'm not saying the current dummy. This current dummy is dumb. Some are overtuned, some are
oh, they're overtuned.
Yeah,
I have to farm Titan so I could beat the Titan dummy.
right. But I barely clear it with Eden weapon on like week 3. Like, it's crazy. Balance it to the point that it doesn't require crazy, unreal expectation, but at least a minimum that we don't see 9 percentiles without deaths. 9 percentiles without deaths in PF. Like, those people obviously don't know their rotation, right? Like, if you can manage, say, 30%, 40 percentile type of damage without dying, then okay, come on in. I guess that's fine for the first clear, right? But like people who do like supposed to do 10k and do 8k, 5k, healers who are doing 0, tanks who are doing 70% less than they should, I think those people shouldn't be allowed in the fight. Again, I think this is not just about PF. I think this is also about the dummy. So they have to improve their striking dummy, check more leniently, but not too dumb, but enough. And before these people clear it, then they can join PF. It's like, I think for me, I personally prefer that. But at the same time, I hope it doesn't happen so that we can make fun of the Grays. Yeah. Just send them to Greytown. Yeah.
Okay, fair. I would probably go back to loot and fix the loot system.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That would be the one thing I'd ask, is just to fix that loot system.
Would you change it back to what we had before?
No, the only thing I would change is one loot per one per person. You can only get 1 per person. No matter what, 4 people are going to get gear and loot every single one. So I feel like that's good. But that being said, I think this is pretty good to wrap up on. This is right between the 2 and 3 hour mark, which is good. It's good. We didn't overdo it. If we had a third person in here, we'd probably be on 4 hours. Yes, Arthars?
One question for Frosty. Do you think, right? If they make it like you said earlier for normal mode, where everybody a turn can guarantee 1 coffer a week for Savage, but remove the page system? Would you take that?
Oh,
No.
So 1
don't
week,
remove the
No.
page
1
system,
week,
man.
1
Coming
week, you
away
are
from a week empty-handed, completely empty-handed, fucking sucks. So I think we got to keep the page system.
I would say keep the page system, even if you could guarantee that you're going to get a piece of loot no matter what. I feel like that's boring. I'd rather there be some RNG to it, some enough to where I'm not wanting to pull my eyes out.
But it improves replayability. If I really want hit this turn, okay, I go in, I lose to the other 8 people. Fuck. But I go in again, I roll again until you win it.
Mm-hmm.
The replayability is there though, but scrap the page system, right? You don't want you guys think it's not good?
You mean like no matter what, like you can always get one piece of loot. You just keep going and get one, like kind of like alliances, where you can get one piece a week from there, and then you just keep going until you get it.
Yes.
That
but no page.
The only thing that sucks about that is that you don't know what to plan your week out for if you have limited time. And so if I go into it and I'm like, I have this much time to do it, and I clear it, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get it this time. Then you have to do it like 3 or 4 times. Some weeks you have to clear it 5 times. Some weeks only 1 time. Some weeks maybe 8 times. It just depends on how it goes, I guess. And it kind of sucks knowing, I don't like luck with my time. If I lose, I'd rather just lose than know that I should be responsible for going in there that many times.
Why are you complaining about the box system?
Because it's stupid. It could be made better. Anyways, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up, guys. Again, you should stick around to listen to this interview with 2 Square Enix employees who's going to be talking to you about what they do with the game and everything else. And for those watching this on YouTube, it will be released on YouTube Thursday morning. Is what I have. I'm trying to pace it out a little bit so it's not all at once. It's just 2 shows at once. I'm trying to make up for not being here last week too. I figured it'd be nice just to have 2 shows come out this week. That being said, I do want you guys to say your shout outs and everything else. It was awesome to have both of you come back on, especially after that week of rest that I had and kind of reworking to come back this weekend. Any last shout outs or anything that you guys would like to say? And I'll go clockwise again with Bok starting.
Yeah, shout outs to the people who live in Party Finder and just like hang out and try to help groups out and just have fun. We always run into each other all the time, so you guys know who you are. But no, you guys always willing to help out the people in need in Party Finder, and you're always there hanging out to have some fun. So yeah, shout outs to the Party Finder junkies, my fellow Party Finder junkies.
Nice. All right. And where can they find you if they need to, Bok?
Party Finder. Just join a group. There's a good chance I'll be there.
Okay. I'm gonna do a shout out for you. Hold on. Let me make sure they have something to click on.
Twitch channel. Okay.
Bok Choy KN. You can go to Twitch, Bok Choy KN, or on Twitter, Bok Choy KN. Now, recently, right? Sort of recently. Yeah. All right.
Just find. Just look for me in Party Finder.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll find me.
Eventually. Arthars.
Yeah, seems we are on the PF show, right? Yeah, everybody who is around for Party Finder still playing the game now, even though there's like a drought here. But everybody is still like willing to help out, willing to join. When I'm learning my healer, people join in, made fun. But people just you guys, like Bok says, all of you guys just hanging around. Shout out to you guys, man. Like we still have a month to go. No, hopefully not. Half a month to go. Or 5.1. Wow, it's pretty big, right?
About half a month, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah. So hopefully that you guys will still hang around, like our streams, like give us content. Yay! Thanks a lot for the content, guys. Yay! What are we gonna do without the PF? What are we gonna do without the PFs? Thanks, man. Thanks to you guys, man.
Yeah.
And hey, Frosty, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, you can find me on my channel. Yeah.
Absolutely. Make sure to make it over to Arthars or Bok Choy's Twitch with those Twitch Prime subs and everything else. Thank you so much again, everybody, for watching the show today. It's been an absolute blast. You guys are why we do this. And of course, thank you to Karar for the emotional support in the background, my wife. And then thank you for Blizana for the layout, which I am working on in the little offline show I have coming up. I did change the layout a little bit and messed around with it. It's not much, but just see what I could do. And then thank you very much, Andre Kane, for the music that I play in the intro and the closing. So yeah, everybody stay tuned. Remember to be good to each other, keep cool, and stay frosty. Bye, guys.
Bye.
But
Bye.
but not bye. Stay.
Oh, yeah, there's still a show.
All right. Bye.